Game of the Week. You're listening live on MACOMBpreps.com. Good evening, everybody, and welcome in. Jerry Mack on the call. It's our Week 7 Game of the Week here with MACOMB Preps, brought to you by Big Bear Media Productions. Once again, I'm Jerry Mack alongside Kent Fiat, bringing you this matchup just over 5 minutes till game time. And I tell you, we are excited for this one as we bring in Kent to the broadcast. Kent, number one, welcome in, man. Thanks for joining.
Absolutely, man. Couldn't be happier to be here. What an amazing environment for high school football. Stands are packed. Two undefeated teams really battling for, at least the share of the title here. So.
Absolutely. This is going to be a huge game, and like you said, these stands are jam-packed. We showed up here at around 4:30, 5 o'clock, and the atmosphere was already buzzing over here. Both marching bands in attendance, the student sections on both sides, absolutely getting wild here at East China Stadium. We're going to keep an eye on the weather here a little bit. We had a little bit of rain about 5 minutes ago, but that does seem to have cleared out. So as of right now, we do have cloudy skies, temperatures at about 64 degrees. But overall, we're just going to keep an eye on that weather and see how it plays into today's matchup. Again, it's a crosstown rivalry game. It's our game of the week. Hands down, there's no question about it. The Marine City Mariners hosting the St. Clair Saints. Both teams undefeated. Marine City 6-0, 3-0 in the MAC Silver. St. Clair 6-0, 3-0 in the MAC Silver. And I tell you what, it's not just the offense from these teams that impress, but it's the defenses as well.
Yeah, I mean, you can speak on the defense. As far as the offenses go, they got two different philosophies for the most part. I mean, Marine City, it's no secret what they want to do. They want to beat you on the ground. They want to beat you up front. They're gonna run some wing tee. They're gonna run some variations of that. And if they can control the line of scrimmage, they can win the game. On the other end, St. Clair is going to come in. They're going to do some more balanced attack. They're going to put some receivers out there, some I, some pro. And try to beat you with a little bit of balance. So really, in any football game, it's who wins the battle up front, and we'll see what happens because it's going to be exciting.
Absolutely, and as you mentioned, a couple of different looks from these teams, but two definite matchups that we're looking forward to. Looking at a couple of offensive stats here, Marine City has scored 265 points on the year. St. Clair has posted up 223 on the year. Marine City defense has only given up 49 points. That St. Clair Saints defense has only given up 52 points. So as you
something's got to give, right?
A lot of similarities between these two teams. It's going to be a great game. Exciting to see what we got going on. We got just under 3 minutes until kickoff here. Marine City did win that opening kick and elected a first, so they will kick off to start and grab the ball in the second half.
Yeah, and we'll see, like you mentioned about the weather, we'll see how that unfolds. I mean, if rain does come, typically it's going to favor a running team, a team like Marine City for the most part. But one thing people don't really understand is, on the offensive side of the ball, if your quarterback has hands that can grip the ball, with the football being wet, those offensive receivers, they know where they're going and the DBs don't, right? So Absolutely. It doesn't always favor the running team. Just keep that in mind.
As you can hear, the Marine City home stands getting fired up, the marching band bringing this team onto the field. It's going to be a great one. Again, 2 minutes until opening kickoff. We'll have all the coverage live for you. Reminder to everybody who's out at games, make sure you get those scores into us at Mac Preps on Twitter all night long. And we will bring you all the scores that we need to throughout the game. And afterwards, of course, we'll have the entire game on our YouTube page, as well as full game highlights chopped up for you as well. So again, we're really excited for this one. Here comes Marine City out onto the field. Again, this crowd is absolutely wild. It's going to be a great game. Coming up to 90 seconds till kickoff, I just want to take this opportunity to let everybody know that MACOMB Preps is actively seeking sponsors and advertise to help support the fastest growing high school sports outlet in the area. If you're a local business, MACOMB County local business, owner or operators in this county, and you're looking to get your name out to thousands to Mac Preps followers, get a hold of us. Jerry Mack, you can contact us at macpreps@gmail.com or give me a call, 586-567-2327. Once again, sponsorships and advertiser opportunities are open with us as well. Just under 60 seconds till kickoff, and I tell you again, just recapping this environment, Kent, this is absolutely wild and the place we want to be at. We've got Channel 7 out here, we've got State Champs out here, we've got the D-Zone out here, and of course MACOMB Preps, we are out here on the call, but this is absolutely amazing. We picked the right game.
Yeah, I mean, it's two cities where, high school football is really big. I mean, it's two towns that really support their athletics. And obviously football being one of those most popular ones, I mean, you couldn't expect anything less than this, right?
Absolutely, and these two teams, no stranger to success. Marine City, state champions here in recent years. St. Clair, a regional final appearance last year as well. So, again, as these two teams grow, just a lot of great football being played out in East China. And again, we're looking forward to this one as 12 minutes is on the clock. Marine City is set to kick it off. St. Clair ready to receive the ball. Back deep for the Saints, number 2, Austin Schweiger, and also number 21, I think
it's going to be a penalty, Mac, and went out of bounds to kick off. So they should get some good field position here, St. Clair, to start off.
So opening kickoff goes out of bounds. Penalty will be accepted, and that ball will be placed out at the 35-yard line as the Saints get an opportunity to open up their first drive on offense. We take a look at their starting lineup. Number 1, Evan Kruski. Number 4, Luke Ellis. Number 9, Sean Donaldson. Number 12, Brady Gleason. Number 20, Brandon Ruba, who's going to be carrying the ball for the Saints. Big name to watch. Number 22, Duncan Gillis. As the Saints break the huddle, we'll take a look at the offensive line coming up here shortly. So the Saints open up in a shotgun T formation, 2 split to the outside, as that is Gleason gets the ball, drops back to pass.
Oh my God! First play of the game.
First play of the game. That's intercepted by number 21, Wyatt Walker, as Gleason dropped back looking for the screen pass. Great read there by Wyatt Walker. He picks it off and takes it all the way down to the Saints' 9-yard line. So defense coming up big for Marine City. Unbelievable opening play.
And, I mean, not the way you want to start off. They tried to sneak a nice pass route out there, and there's not more you can say. I mean, he just jumped the route. Fantastic defensive play.
Kent, we talked about it just minutes ago. The weather, we're keeping an eye on it. There's no rain. St. Clair can obviously score through the air. Very balanced offense, but coming out to elect to throw the ball on that very first play. Great job by the Marine City defense with their awareness, picking off that screen pass, and we get Marine City with an opportunity to score early here. Power formation for Marine City. Once again, we'll do the best with the numbers. Marine City in all black. Give up the middle. That's number 30. Check that number 32, Aaron Safi.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you this, though, on the St. Clair side, I saw Brady Gleason warm up, and he can throw the football. So, I mean, that's disappointing, but they got to make a stand here. They got to make a stop. St.
Absolutely.
Clair.
Gleason's going to have to shake that one off, and we've seen both of these two teams play. Leadership is at a high with both these teams as Marine City breaks the huddle again. Power formation, 2nd and goal to go at the 6-yard line. Counter off to the left side.
Counter, that's the score.
And waiting for the official ruling, it looks like he was brought down.
He's a little short.
Brought down there by number 11, and the Saints defense, Matt Buslap, brought down at the 2-yard line is the official spot. So it'll be a 3rd and goal from the 2 on the opening drive for Marine City. And again, St. Clair's defense has a great opportunity to make a big stand and a statement. As
quarterback sneak. Oh no.
Left side into the end zone for Marine City, number 32, Aaron Safi. And opening minute of play, opening drive for the Marine City Mariners. 3 runs, 9 yards on the ground, and it's a 6-0 ball game early on.
Yeah, huge by them. I mean, the interception's one thing, but to come out, put the ball in the end zone after, take advantage of the turnover. I mean, that's how you couldn't ask to start the game any better for Marine City.
No, absolutely. And tough situation for the Saints defense there that they were put in. They're going to have to look to shake that one off as the snap is back. The kick is up, and it is good. So a 7-0 lead for Marine City early on in this Mac Preps game, Week 7 game of the week. Again, just to recap that first drive, St. Clair gets the ball to open up the first the game. Interception by Gleason. Marine City opens their drive on the 9-yard line. 3 plays, counter punches it on the left side, 7-0 ball game.
Yeah, I mean, anyone that knows football knows turnovers are a big part of the game, but on top of getting the turnover, converting it into points is what you got to do, and that's what they did. It's funny when you see Marine City's offense live. You can just see the disguise, the misdirection, how hard it is for a defense to pick up who has the ball. You can watch them on film, but when you're here in person, it's really run to perfection the way they do it.
Tight splits between all those big offensive linemen up front. So we're going to have our work cut out for us this evening as well. Keeping track.
I called a quarterback sneak on the last one, and it ended up being a counter to the running back. So you're going to have to help me out with that, Mac.
So the ball is teed up, kicked deep, and we are back at it again. That one is going to go through the end zone. So this ball will be placed out at the 25-yard line of the Saints, where they will start their second possession of the game.
Now, what St. Clair, I don't know if they're going to come out here and throw it, but they have to stay true to what they do. They can't let that particular, interception on the first play stop them from what they want to do. So we'll see how they respond. If I'm coaching, I might get a little screen pass to the quarterback, get a little flare out there, and have him get some confidence back after that first throw.
Absolutely. Saints break the huddle. Gleason under center this time. I formation, tight end to the left. Fullback motion to the left side. Give up the middle. That is Ruba, and Ruba has got a big opening to the right side up the sideline all the way down to the 45-yard line of Marine City. There is a flag on the play down around the 34-yard line. Looks like it's going to be a holding penalty.
Too bad. I think it's going to be a holding, and that was such a great play to respond, to the touchdown by Marine City, and unfortunately, it looks like it might be coming back.
Well, that is the true offense that we are looking to see out of St. Clair there, running the ball a lot and then throwing the ball when they can. Again, holding was the official call on that one, so that's going to back them up 10 yards from the spot at the 34. We'll get the initial ruling where that ball is spotted as the referee marches off that 10-yard penalty. So, disappointing start for the Saints. Interception on the very first play. A big play on the second drive here negated by penalty. We'll see what the Saints do. Ball spotted at the 24-yard line on the right hash for the Saints. Again, Gleason under center here. 4 wide out to the left side for the Saints.
Quads left.
To the inside. Counter to the inside. Give to the fullback as the Marine City defense bottles that one up. First one in, and that one is number 32 for Marine City.
Really well played there, as you mentioned. A little counter, a little misdirection, and they stayed in their lanes, made the tackle. Back to what you said. I mean, it's tough to get the penalty, but as a coach, you like to see that hole was there. They popped over in that 50-yard, 40-yard run. Unfortunately, it came back, but like you said, St. Clair is going to want to run the ball. They just do it a little different than Marine City. They do it, with single back, pro eye, that kind of stuff.
So we have a 2nd and 7 situation now. Again, Gleason under center for the Saints. He drops back to pass, looking to the right side. Under pressure, he's going to pull up into the pocket and look to take off. Gleason is going to be brought down there by number 21, Wyatt Walker of that Marine City defense, bringing up a 3rd down and 7 for the Saints.
Yeah, it was great coverage downfield. I mean, they stayed in their zones. They stayed on their man. They just didn't give him really anywhere to throw the football. He tried to make a play, reverse his field, but Marine City was right where they needed to be to make the stop.
So we're seeing a very smart and disciplined Marine City defense, which is no surprise to us, as they've been able to hold their opponents to a very low output all season long. Very excited to see how this one's going to play out. Big opportunity here for the Saints. They're going to need to keep this drive going with a 3rd and 5 on their own 25-yard line.
Watch for a little slant here from the inside receiver, possibly. Oh, quarterback draw.
Pistol formation. Gleason's going to take off, but he's going to be bottomed up and taken down quickly there by the Marine City defense. That's big number 58, Josh Headley on that tackle. Great job by Headley out of the linebacker position, staying true to his read, spying that quarterback, bringing down Gleason a yard short of the line of game. Saints are going to be forced to punt. So as we take a look at the special teams unit here for the St. Clair Saints, going back for the Mariners, number 1, Charles Tigert, the sophomore, being put back there. His toes are at the 44-yard line of Marine City. Snap is back. The kick is off. Good punt into the wind there. Driving all the way back to the Marine City 30-yard line, bouncing out of bounds down at the 25-yard line. So a great punt there by the Saints, and we're going to get a second look at the Marine City offense here with 8:14 to go in the first quarter. Marine City 7, St. Clair 0.
Tiger made a good decision there to let it go. I think if he could have got underneath it, Flair caught it might have been, a bit better play. But as you're running back as a punt returner, you don't want to try to make any amazing catch, fumble the ball, make any mistakes. So definitely did the right thing there, let the ball go.
Absolutely. So Marine City offense back out on the field again, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Tight formation there for Marine City. 2 in the backfield. They run that wing T, give up the middle as he will be stood up and pushed back by the Saints linebacking core. Looks like maybe a loss of 1 on the play if he even got back to the line of scrimmage, waiting on the official spot from the referee. That ball will be spotted at the 24-yard line, so indeed, loss of 1. Great play there by the Saints defense. Mariners break the huddle, wing T formation.
That goes in motion.
Up back, motion to the left side, give off tackle. That's number 32, Safi.
Great spin move by him. He got, hit contact there, 1 yard, 1 or 2 yards downfield, was able to make a nice spin move, get an extra 1 or 2 yards. It's very important for Marine City to get those 3-4 yards per carry.
And that's exactly what we're going to see them do all night. They're going to try and get to their hole, and they're just going to try and power for as many yards as forward as possible. That's going to bring up a 3rd down and 4 situation here as we approach the 7-minute mark of the first quarter here at East China Stadium.
So these are surprising situations for them. You know they can run it for 4, but watch a little play action here. Watch a little throw possibly.
Motion to the left side, single back. Rolling back to the right side, has Safi complete out in the right side of the flat across the line again, pushed out of bounds at the 37-yard line. So 1st down Marine City through the way of air.
A very well-designed pass play. You saw that they got a little misdirection there, fooled the defense. And that's the thing with Marine City. Yes, they like to run the football, but make no mistake, their quarterback can throw the ball. They've got good athletes. They can do it all. They just choose to run it the majority of the time, right?
The senior quarterback, number 9, Colby Walker, heading up this Mariner offense. Pretty much a base wing T formation, but we're seeing a lot of variations out of this formation here. Empty backfield, jet motion to the left side. Again, Marine City going right to left on this broadcast. That is Tiger on the carry. Cuts it up the left side in the middle. Pickup of around 4 or 5 yards, and again, Marine City getting that run game going.
Yeah, you mentioned it. I mean, that was a great cut. It was designed to jet motion, it was designed to get him outside. He noticed it wasn't there, cut it upfield, and got what he could.
So Marine City methodically picking their holes out with that run game here early on, doing what they're doing. 2nd down and 6 situation, ball on the 42-yard line as we are halfway through this first quarter. 7-0 Marine City, full backfield for the Mariners this time as a hard count by Walker.
I think we got a false start, Mac. I think we got a false start.
Trying to draw that defense across the line, but it looks like that right guard might have jumped first, and indeed the official ruling will be a false start on that Mariner offensive line, driving them back 5 yards, and that'll set up a 2nd down and 11 situation. So 5-yard penalty in their own end zone, 2nd down, now turning a 2nd down in mid situation to 2nd down and long. Big opportunity here for the Saints defense to get off the field.
Yeah, I mean, you never want to see that when you're Marine City, when you want to run those 3-4 yards a pop, but like I said, not nothing they can't overcome, but definitely not something you want to see as a coach.
Walker under center, 2 in the backfield, jet motion to the left out of the slot. Walker is going to fake the jet motion and take off on the right side around tackle, so essentially a quarterback boot out of that wing T formation, out of the jet sweep fake. Pickup of 12, 13 yards on the play, all the way out to the 48-yard line, good for another 1st down.
Yeah, I mean, again, brilliant misdirection. Quarterback, spun out one way, stopped, turned the opposite direction, had a huge hole upfield, and got 12 yards or so for the 1st down.
So again, the variation out of that wing T formation, the variation out of the motion.
We'll go trips left here.
Trips left, empty backfield, quick pass out to Tiger from Walker, and he's got an opening, makes a nice cut out to the sideline, finally bottled up at the 45-yard line of the Saints. The Mariners get it across midfield. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 3 situation. So this time, Walker throwing the quick screen pass out to Tiger on the line of scrimmage. basically just getting a skilled player out in space and letting him do his thing.
That's what they do. I mean, you mentioned it. Yeah, they're going to run the T, they're going to run variations, but they know how to get their athletes in space.
Heavy backfield now this time for Marine City. Double tight end formation as well. Walker under center, gets the snap, fake to the mid-back, off to number 2, Angelo Patsalis, as he tries to work the right edge of that Saints defense, but he's going to be bottled up, brought down for a loss of 1. Ball will be spotted at the Saints' 47-yard line.
That was great defense. Best defensive play, I think, of the game. They stayed in their areas, didn't get fooled by any kind of misdirection, any kind of fakes, and were there to make the tackle.
Well, a lot of speed and a lot of skilled positions out of that Marine City offense, obviously, but that Saints defense is very disciplined, and they do have the ability to contain as well. So great job of bottling up that defense. As we're going to get the very first official timeout of this game here in the first quarter, 4:28 remaining. Marine City 7, St. Clair 0, as the Marine City Mariners are going to call that first called timeout on offense, facing a 3rd down and 5 situation. So obviously a very important drive for the Mariners. Their offense is going to want to take an opportunity to talk about it.
Yeah, and this is the tough part for St. Clair is, in this situation with Marine City, they could as easily run the ball for 5 yards as throw it, right? When a lot of other teams that don't have that kind of run game, you can send in some extra DBs, you can play defense for the pass, but with Marine City and what they can do, being able to do both, it puts you in a tough situation as a defensive coordinator.
Absolutely, and I like that timeout called by Marine City. They were not in any sort of hurry or any sort of panic, but obviously just wanted to talk about the situation. Ball around midfield on the Saints side at the 47, 3rd down and 5 situation, and the way Marine City has been able to pick up yards and run the ball, they might have wanted to talk about a couple of plays back to back.
Absolutely, and as you want to get off the field here as a defense because Marine City can eat the clock. I mean, that's what they try to do for the most part, eat the clock.
Motion, empty backfield, Walker under center. He's going to give the pass
double
to Taggart real quick. Double pass, good
double
call.
Pass.
Watch out as Taggart got his man downfield. That is number 36 for Marine City on the catch. Check that. That's number 32, I believe. We'll wait for the official ruling. Again, Marine City in all black with those orange numbers, the white outline.
32 is what I had. See what they did there, Max? See how they set that up with the last time they had that formation, threw it, it was a run?
Absolutely.
They set it right up there for the double pass. You could see it coming up here. But
Marine City right back, quick tempo, give up the middle. That is number 4, Nick Borunda. Straight ahead and powers his way down inside the red zone, down to the 16-yard line for Marine City. So right out of that timeout, like you had talked about, setting up that play, they had ran that play just 3 or 4 sets ago and had success on it. You were able to sniff it out. We got a great view from up there, but they threw that crossing route downfield and connected on it.
I mean, I was able to sniff it out because I'm pretty smart, but I mean, I'm just kidding. But no, very well set up. You know what I mean? It was just a well set up play, perfect. I bet we weren't at practice, but I guarantee you they worked on that in practice.
Full backfield fake to the up back, give to the left side off tackle. That's number 32, Aaron Sophie. Brought down quickly at the line of scrimmage, so that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 4 with 3.5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Marine City up 7-0 and threatening to score once again.
It's the first game I've been out here to see them, so I don't know what kind of kicker that they have, but I mean, holding them to a field goal here is would be a big plus for St. Clair. I mean, you don't want to get down 2 scores to this team.
So a big play for that Saints defense. Single back formation, jet motion to the left side, fake the jet sweep. Walker's going to roll out to his right side, looking at the corner pylon, but giving chase on that Saints defense was the middle linebacker, number 34. That is Joe Phillips giving chase to Walker, so he was forced to throw that ball a little bit quicker than he wanted to. Threw it into empty space, just getting rid of it. That's going to bring up a 4th down and 4 situation for the Mariners.
Yeah, that was the same play they ran, earlier in the drive. I think when they had Sophie open, just leaked the running back out there to the flat, did some misdirection, but just well covered by St. Clair that time, and quarterback made a good decision. He had to throw it away. If he tried to force that in, that could have easily been an interception.
A 4th down situation. Mariners electing to keep the offense on the field. Tight formation, single back, offset to the right, jet motion to the right. Give on the jet motion.
Looking to throw.
Looking to throw once again, but it looks like Taggart is going to be brought down behind the line of scrimmage, so a turnover on downs. Big play by the Saints defense to get off the field. No points given up. They'll take over 1st and 10 on their own 15-yard line with 2 minutes and 48 seconds to go in this first quarter, down 7.
Yeah, I can't stress how big of a stop that was for St. Clair. I mean, like I mentioned, you don't want to go down 14-0. It's going to be a close game, I feel, either way, but that was just a very, very big stop. They tried to run a little motion, and they were there for the stop.
We'll see how much momentum that'll build up for the Saints defense as well. Shotgun formation, split backs this time. Gleason, a little bit of confusion in the backfield. Left side run up. Pickup of 6 yards.
I didn't see who had the ball there.
Yeah, there was the first back on the left side. So the Saints trying to disguise the ball a little bit on their end. Worked very well from our angle, definitely. But pickup of 6 yards, 7 yards for the Saints. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 3.
So we got I formation. Back set off to the strong side there. Fullback.
Give up the middle to Rubla, as Ruba is going to be bottled up by that interior defense of the Mariners. Pickup of about 1.5 yards, 2 yards, so that'll bring up a 3rd down and 1 situation for the Saints. And again, we keep on bringing up the old big play for the Saints, but once again, it's a big play for the Saints offense. They got to get something moving. They started off with the interception on the first play. They had a 10-yard holding penalty that negated a big pickup on their second drive, and now they're looking at a 3rd 3 and out if they don't pick up this 1st down. So big play coming up for the Saints.
Yeah, you got to get the defense a little bit of rest. They've been on the field too much.
Ball spotted on the left hash. High formation for the Saints. Gleason under center, as he's going to give to the fullback, pushing his way up the middle. Looks like he picked up enough for that 1st down.
Don't get any stupid penalties. Got the 1st down.
As indeed that was a 1st down pickup by the fullback and the Saints offense. So it'll be 1st and 10. Ball spotted on the Saints 26-yard line. Once again, Saints break the huddle. I formation, Gleason under center. As Gleason's going to check out of that formation, they're going to spread into a split set as Gleason drops back to pass, looking to his left side. He's going to be forced out of the pocket and firing downfield, finds his receiver caught on the ground. Pick up a 9 yards there, so that'll bring up a 3rd down, check that 2nd down and 1 situation with 30 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Clock continues to run.
Wonderful play by Gleason. Showed off kind of some of the stuff I saw in warm-ups. He's got a cannon. I mean, he rolled left there and threw back across his body. Strike about 8 yards, 9 yards down the field. So
great job of keeping that ball in an area where only his receiver could catch it again, as we see a pistol spread formation, motion to the left side, handoff up the middle. As Ruba jumping and spinning his way over the line of scrimmage. Looks like he picked up that 1st down. Looked like he might have been stopped early as well, but kept his knees off the ground. That kid's got a lot of great athleticism.
That was a crazy play. I mean, he jumped over a couple people on the ground, got hit in the air, and he even stayed on his feet. I mean, had they not made the tackle after that, he could have ran a long way.
Very well could have taken off on that one. As the very first quarter of this Week 7 game of the week comes to a close, both teams starting to settle in. Marine City leads this one 7-0 over the Saints here at the East China Stadium.
Yeah, I mean, wow, what a first quarter. Obviously, Marine City started quick. That interception on the first play took a lot of momentum. Went through, put the ball in the end zone. You couldn't ask for a better start. But St. Clair's, they weathered the storm there a bit. They got the stop. They kept it to a 7-0 game. Kept it to a touchdown game, and now they're moving the ball a little bit. So this is a big second quarter is a very big possession here. They got to get the ball downfield, try to get some points on the board.
Speaking of weathering the storm, as we start this second quarter, this rain starting to move into the area now. Light rain, doesn't look too heavy and doesn't look like it's coming in too hard. Still just a cool breeze. Moving right to left on this broadcast as we flip sides. St. Clair breaks the huddle, single back formation. Gleason under center, trips to the left, toss to the left. Great job defensively there by number 6, making the tackle in the backfield. That's Wes Uplegger. Saints trying to go toss left, but very disciplined and aggressive defense causes a loss on that play.
Yeah, when you go trips, to the short side, trips left, try to sweep it out there. I mean, you can break plays that way, but you got to have great blocks from the receivers, and they just didn't have it on that play.
So that'll bring up a 2nd down and 16 situation. Again, early in the second quarter, Marine City leading 7-0.
That rain is falling now, Matt. Can you see it? It's coming
Absolutely.
down.
It's definitely picking up a little bit heavier, and that wind is picking up as well.
I'm going to tell you,
the umbrellas.
Watch this, though. If this Gleason, he's a pretty tall guy. He's got big hands. If he can throw the ball and then get these receivers out in space, they might be able to break a big throw.
Gleason drops back to pass, flushed out of the pocket, throws downfield, intended for his receiver, number 22, Duncan Gillis, overthrown on the play. Great coverage there by the Marine City defense. That'll bring up a 3rd down and 16 for the Saints.
Yeah, you said it. I mean, I watched the routes. The route combination was nice, I thought. I just thought they did a heck of a job, defending it. Everybody was in the right spots. Nobody was open. Great defense.
St. Clair trying to get what they can take, but Marine City not offering up a whole bunch out on that field right now as the Saints break the huddle. 3rd down and 16, ball on their own 30-yard line, set just inside of the left hash. As Gleason signals his single back in the backfield. Gleason drops back to pass, looking to his left side. He chucks it up. Fade ball, got his receiver, but that one is going to be thrown out of bounds. Thrown away, intended for number 11, Jared Linierski.
Yeah, they tried to run looked like a little curl wheel, but it was a wheel action from the slot receiver there down the sideline. Yeah, it wasn't the best throw, but I'll tell you what, he was covered, right? It really couldn't have made it any better. Had to throw the ball out of bounds. Again, good route combinations, just better defense from the Mariners.
As the defense was able to stay with him side by side, forcing that receiver to the sideline and forcing him out of bounds, the Saints will be forced to punt from their own 30-yard line. 2 receivers back deep for the Mariners. Punt is away. As the fair catch is signaled, that ball's going to be dropped and fumbled and quickly recovered there by number 2, Angelo Patsalis, the captain, senior wide receiver for the Mariners. He jumped on that one at the 42-yard, check that 37-yard line where the Mariners will take over 1st and 10, up 7 with 10:56 left to go in the second quarter.
Yeah, Patsalis was fortunate he was on, the side of the field and kind of close to the sidelines there, because those are the kind of plays that really can change momentum. He just dropped it, unfortunately, but he was lucky enough to have it roll out of bounds.
Shout out to the Marine City Marching Band, keeping us and the fans entertained here in the first half of this Week 7 game of the week here on MACOMBPreps.com. Full backfield for the Mariners, wing T formation, as Walker scouts out that Saints defense, gives his backfield a signal. Give to the up back in the middle. Great job there by the interior defensive lineman of the Saints. That's Tigert on the carry, and he's going to be bottled up for no gain on the play.
At 34, Joe Phillips was in there for St. Clair, making a good play. It was really a team effort there. I think 3 or 4 of them had a good, were in there on the tackle. So.
Great job by the nose guard standing up that A-gap, and as you said, Phillips able to run in there and make the tackle. Great job there by the Saints defenses. Again, this rain's starting to pick up. 2 wide receivers to the left side for the Mariners, 2 in the backfield. Quick pass over to the flat. That's number 2, Angelo Patsalis. Good for 6 yards out to the left side before he's finally brought down. That'll bring up 3rd down and a long 4-5 situation for the Mariners.
Yeah, Austin Schweiger there for St. Clair made a great defensive play. He stayed in his spots, came up, made the tackle, and a great stop, leaving with 3rd and 4.
So another big opportunity for the Saints to get off the field. 3rd down and 4 here. Full backfield, tight end and wing off to the right side. Wing motion, counter give to number 32. That is Safi. He'll be quickly bottled up, trying and testing that left side of the Saints defense, but going nowhere.
Yeah, stopped in there by number 36, Aaron Gadke. And Ethan White on the tackle as well. Bring up 4th and 4. Marine City, let's see what they do here. They're on close to the 50-yard line, making some substitutions.
So we'll have to see personnel changes.
Line up the punt.
Definitely lining up the punt there as St.
That's the
Clair
right call.
is going to stay in defense, regular defense, to prevent any sort of fake. The snap is back. The kick is away. Nice driving punt into the wind. Spiraling, bounces at the 15-yard line where it's going to check and settle in nicely and be downed at the Saints' 13-yard line where St. Clair will take over 1st and 10 with 8:53 left here in the second quarter, down 7-0.
As you mentioned, too, they kept the defense in there. To your point, to watch for the fake, but also sometimes you don't want to put a guy back there, risk a fumble, risk a muff punt. You made the stop, get the ball, let's see what you can do on offense.
Absolutely. So St. Clair were looking to even things up, let alone they're looking to get things going here in the first half offensively still.
They've had some good plays. They just haven't been able to put it together just yet.
Gleason shotgun formation, counter to the right side off tackle. Pick up of around 3 or 4 yards. That's Brandon Ruba on the carry.
Right number 68, Derek Kaufman.
Great turnout here at East China Stadium as well. Looking around, you see all these umbrellas up, but looking in between them, there's people all along the fence, all the way around this place, rain included.
Main event in this town tonight.
Gleason under center, I formation, give up the middle. That is Ruba, quickly bottled up there by a host of Mariners on the defense. So again, nothing going on there for the Saints offense. That's going to bring down up a 3rd down and 6 situation.
Yeah, Marine City's doing what they got to do to win. I mean, they're winning the battle up front. St. Clair's able to get 1-2 yards here and there, but nothing super successful on the ground. And when it comes to them throwing, the defensive backfield for the Mariners have been pretty stellar as well. So St. Clair's got to find a way to make some plays.
So, again, another key play coming up here for the Saints, looking at a 3rd down and 5, trying to keep that offense on the field for any sort of length of time. As I formation, fullback motions to the left side. Gleason, play action, drops back to pass. Looking for his receiver. Nice coverage there. Incomplete off to the right side. Intended for Schweiger. So that's going to bring up a 4th down and another punting situation for the Saints.
Again, just great defense. Secondary is defending those receivers right and putting them in the right position. They're just not getting open.
Back to punt for the Saints is number 11, Jared Liniarski. 2 back deep, standing at midfield for the Mariners. Kick is away, punt off to the right side. Nice kick, carries down to the 42, 41-yard line where a fair catch is called and caught there by number 1, that is Tigert. So Marine City will take over 1st and 10. Just outside of midfield at their own 40-yard line, in good field position to start this drive here with 7:27 left in the second quarter for the Mariners.
Yeah, you hit my thoughts, exact. I was literally going to chime in on the field position. It's been a big part of this game. Marine City's dominated it. Even when St. Clair got their stop, they got their stop within their own 20-yard line with the ball moving into their end zone. So football's a field position game, and Marine City's winning it, and that's why they're up on the scoreboard as well.
And they will look to continue to put more points up on that scoreboard and go up even more as they take over 1st and 10 on their 40-yard line. Empty backfield this time as Walker is under center. Tight end to the left, jet motion to the left, fake as Walker looks to pass, slant intended for Tigert, incomplete pass thrown to the outside of Tigert. Didn't really have an opportunity to catch that one. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 10 situation.
Yeah, again, he was covered pretty well. They tried to run a little slant there, skinny post, slant, however you want to call it here, and defender was on the inside, really was nothing there, so it was pretty much a good miss by the quarterback.
2nd down and 10 situation now for the Mariners. Once again, that ball spotted on the 40-yard line just inside the left hash. Mariners break the huddle. Full backfield this time, wing T formation. Walker under center, gives to the up back. Check that, play action, screen pass.
He's going to go, Mac.
He's going to go all the way, down to the 30, down to the 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Mariners. Number 2, Angelo Patsalis, 60-yard touchdown reception from Walker. Play action pass, beautifully designed by Marine City. 60 yards into the end zone. Marine City now leads 13-0 with 7 minutes and 11 seconds to go here in the second quarter.
And I'll tell you, man, that's what happens when you establish the run game, when you dominate the line of scrimmage. I mean, you could see that coming. There was just a perfect call by the coordinators here at Marine City. You saw they were coming upfield. Defense was rushing. You saw they were trying to stop the run, and you just slid that running back screen there and gone. Nobody knew him.
So the extra point, the kick is up and good as Marine City, this side is starting to get really loud. They're feeling real good over here on the Marine City sideline. 14-0 lead with 7 minutes and 11 seconds to go. So again, just a great time to pull the trigger on that deep pass.
Yeah, like I said, it's just they set their offense up perfect. It runs through the run game, and when you can dominate the line of scrimmage like that, those screen games, those play action games, they're pretty much impossible to stop.
So it was a fake to the up back up the middle, and they took Pat Salas out of the backfield and just kind of crossed him along the line of scrimmage there into the flat on that screen pass. He had a couple of blockers, but I mean, as soon as he caught that ball, you called it. He was off and running.
He didn't need the blockers. He had them, but he didn't need them. So that was just a very well designed play. Great play call.
Teeing it up for Marine City. Wait till we get to see a number here. That's number 7, Felix Cap. He drives that kick deep. That one's going to be returned starting at the 12-yard line, brought out to the 28-yard line, fighting across the 30-yard line for the Saints. Number 11, Jaron Lenarski. Great job at finding open space and really just taking his speed up the sideline and getting what he can get. The Saints are going to take over 1st and 10 on their own 31-yard line. 7:04 left in this second quarter, down 14-0. What are you looking for out of the Saints here?
Yeah, I mean, they got to get a drive. I mean, nothing's, it's the second quarter of a football game, so it's never do or die this early. But, from a momentum perspective, from a, They just have to get something going here. They have to get something going on this drive.
So the story's going to be told with an empty backfield. Gleason, jet motion, fakes it. He's going to keep it himself off the right side. Nice pickup, 9 yards, fighting his way out to the line of gain, fighting for almost 10 yards. We'll see where the ball's spotted. Close to a first down out to the 41-yard line. They are going to give him that first down. So Gleason on that quarterback keeper working the right side of his line there, able to pick up 10 yards.
Yeah, I like that play call. I mean, Gleason's one of their guys. He's one of their go-to guys. He's a great player. You got to get him in a rhythm. If you can't do it through the air, get a couple runs in, get some good yardage, get some good gains, and then make him feel good about himself.
Back to an I formation. Gleason under center. He's going to give to Ruba off tackle. He's looking to the left side. Quickly brought down there by Tigert on that defense after a gain of around 2 or 3 yards.
I mean, I feel like a broken record, but the Marine City team's just very well coached, and defense is always in the right spots. You can't really get the edge on them, and you got to be able to go up the middle. They keep trying to run some outside plays, and they're just there for the stops every time.
Well, St. Clair picking up 3 yards on that play, bringing up a 2nd down and 7. They'll take that play, though. Anything that you can gain positive against this Marine City defense, you got to take. So,
absolutely.
Twins out here to the short side. I formation, single back as the fake jet motion and fake the pitch. Gleason is going to roll up the middle and keep it himself as he'll be taken down at the 45-yard line. That'll bring up a 3rd down and 6.
I don't know if I like that play call as much, just because there's so much stuff going on in the backfield. You really got to be able to hold on to your blocks for an extended period of time, and Marine City's just a tough team to do that to.
So they faked the jet motion, and then they faked to the pitch on the outside and rolled into the keeper. Got to take a lot of time to develop that play.
Yeah, and like I said, by the time the quarterback's ready to run, I mean, you got 2 guys in your face.
So let's see what the Saints decide to do here on a 3rd down and 6 situation. Single back. Trips out to the short side here. Ball on the left hash. Gleason under center. He's going to drop back to pass, looking to his left side. He is looking for Schweiger.
The running back fell down. That was the problem. Not running back. The receiver fell down. That was the problem. They actually had that play there. Looked like he ran a little bit of an out, a little curl, a little out type combination, and fell down.
15-yard route out to in between that zone. He tried to sit down, but it looks like he lost his footing Wonder if that turf became a little bit of wet from that 10-15 minutes of rain that we had. It's tough to see if that rain's coming down, so if it is just a mist right now. We're trying to get eyes on that light post to see if it's coming down, and if it is, again, that's just a slight miss, but never know if he lost his footing from that turf condition. But that'll bring up a 4th down and punting situation, as the special teams is going to go a heavy left formation in this punt. Snap is back. As a rolling kick. They are going to fake it.
Punt. He's
and
wide open.
Schweiger. Schweiger down at the 35-yard line.
What a play.
Crossing route, so a formation shift before that punt even happens. 4th down and 6 situation for the Saints at their own 45-yard line, and they elect to go with the fake on the punt. So special teams coming into play. That might be what the Saints need to get this thing rolling.
Very big momentum shift. I mean, you could see him rolling out to the right, but now with the rugby-style kicks, you weren't really sure what he was going to do.
Exactly. I was waiting for the rugby-style kick, and you saw him pull that ball up like he was going to throw.
Could have been one of those options. I don't know exactly what it was. You could have told him if the guy breaks open, throw it. But either way you slice it.
Saw Schweiger wide open at that 35-yard line, where the Saints will now have it 1st down and 10.
It was almost one of those situations where it was such an obvious time to probably fake it, you thought they wouldn't, you know?
So single back, Gleason's going to check that formation. Gleason under center, he's going to switch it to a double tight formation. Gleason dropping back to pass, looking to the right side. Once again, he has got Kruschke complete all the way down to the 20-yard line, as we got a little extracurricular activity down back at the 40. No flag on the play. Saints offensive lineman slow to get up.
Great route. Wide receiver got out there, ran a little curl, about 12, 13 yards downfield. Throw was perfect. As soon as he made his turn, ball was in the air. This is the drive this is the drive they need, like we mentioned at the beginning.
So the senior Evan Kruschke picking up about 15 yards on that play, and there was a penalty afterwards. I didn't see that flag. It must have been around where that receiver was taken down, but it looked like a face mask penalty was the official call. That's going to bring the ball down to the 15-yard line and set up a 1st down and 10 situation for the Saints. So the deepest part of the field on the Marine City Mariners they've been. We'll see what kind of points they can put up on the board, because they're down 14-0 right now as we approach the 4-minute mark here in the second quarter.
Yeah, we got trips left, single guy out to the right. Looks like a throwing formation.
Gleason give to Ruba up the middle. He's going to cut to the left side and scamper down to the inside the 10, around the 10-yard line. We'll see where the official spot is, but Ruba looking to get something up the middle, nothing doing. Quick cut to the left side, just inside of the tackle there, and able to pick up 5 yards down to the 10-yard line.
That was a good call, as I mentioned before the play. It looked like a passing formation, but with people, sometimes that's the best time to run it. You spread the defense out. Put those secondary people out there in the wide receivers and open up the middle for you.
Schweiger checking back in for Kruschke. I formation, tight end to the right, give up the middle to Ruba. Quickly brought down there by the Mariners defense. That's led by number 13, Jaden Heslip. Quickly by the Marine City defense.
3rd and 4.
They can get a 1st down here, looks like, on the 6-yard line. So they've got a lot of plays still in their arsenal. They can throw the ball. They can run the ball. We'll see what they like to do.
Hitting the 3-minute mark here of the second quarter. Marine City up 14-0. St. Clair threatening. Best drive of the night all night for the Saints as Gleason is under center. Single back formation. 2 to the right. Motion across. They're going to fake the jet and try and run that keeper play once again. But the Marine City Mariners defense will not be fooled this time.
Yeah, I mean, I see what they're trying to do. You're trying to get the ball to one of your top players. Again, it's just such a play that has to just be perfect with the timing, So they're a little short, 4th down, and looks like about 3 to go.
So decision time here for the Saints. It looks like they are going to keep this offense out on the field, as the Saints are going to look at a 4th down and 3 situation approaching the 2-minute mark here in the first half. Saints desperately looking to get some points on the board. Trip formation tight to the left side. Gleason under center, single back. As Gleason's not going to like what he's looking at on the defensive end, he's going to quickly call the timeout for the St. Clair Saints.
Yeah, St. Clair had some success throwing the ball on this drive, so a couple things Coach could be thinking, right? You might not want to give Marine City that much time coming back here to get a score before half. So you ran the ball 2 or 3 times there, took about 2 minutes off the clock, lessened the time Marine City has to score. At the same time, Marine City's not necessarily I don't know what they're going to do with 2 minutes. They really like to rely on the run. They can throw it, but, if that's what Coach St. Clair was trying to do, he definitely accomplished that. So we'll see what he's got here on 4th down.
So as we got to pause in the action, we want to remind everybody that Mac Preps is actively seeking sponsors and advertisers to help support the fastest growing high school sports outlet in the area. If you're a local business owner, operator in the area of Macomb County and looking to get your name out in the thousands of Mac Prep followers that we have, please reach out to us at macpreps@gmail.com, as the Saints is going to bring a field goal unit on, and Marine City is going to counter with a timeout of their own. I think they were probably expecting that offense to stay out on the field. The Saints bringing in the field goal unit, trying to get some points out on the board as we have another timeout here in play.
Yeah, I'm not sure what you're using the timeout there for, even if you do let them kick the field goal, unless you're not trying to really do anything with the next possession. I think they got 2 left now? 2 or 1 timeout? 1 or 2 timeouts left? 1
timeout left for Marine City. They used one early on with the 3rd down and 5 situation. Yeah. So just 1 timeout left here for Marine City. But again, you can't take them into half with you. And defensively, it's probably a great time to remind their players of the fake and the special teams and their assignments, because obviously they're trying to minimize the amount of points that they're giving up on this board right now.
You never know. They did run a fake punt earlier. What if they were to fake field goal? That would have been a crazy drive, right?
So it looks like the holder will set up shop at the 15-yard line. Number 9 into
Sean Donaldson in the kick.
Official ruling the 25-yarder. The kick is up.
That's good.
And it is good. 25-yard field goal up and good. So with 2 minutes and 2 seconds left here in the second quarter, the Saints kept their best of the drive, their best drive of the night with 3 points. They now trail by 11. Marine City 14, St. Clair 3.
Was that the old toe punch there, Mac? I wasn't sure if I saw that kick or not. Did
I didn't see the form or the technique on that one, but I can tell you what, he got it up in
Booted
the air.
That through there, didn't
it
he?
was end over end, and it cleared the uprights.
I used to do that plan. I used to mess around a lot and just try to kick field goals. Just a terrible field goal kicker, though.
Well, we might have to. I could boot it. I made a 40-yard field goal in practice one time. Not to brag on my leg, but when I was 8 years old, I also won the punt packs and kick competition in the Shelby district and was invited down to the Silver Dome to compete.
Oh, there you go.
But it was homecoming for the Shelby Lions, so we skipped that event. I went and played football against the East Point Tiger Cats that day.
I think I threw the ball like 90 yards in that pass punt kick, but my punt was so bad I lost.
Never ending. It always comes down to us sounding like Al Bundy every time we get to an opportunity to get together, Kent. Unbelievable. Jerry Mack, Kent Fiat on the call here with MACOMB Preps. It's our Week 7 game of the week. Fresh off the field, 25-yard field goal by the Saints. Marine City up 14-3 as that is Donaldson giving it the boop, sends it deep. That one's going to go all the way out of the end zone. Great kick there.
He's got a heck of a leg.
I tell you what, that one came off the tee and surprised me with how much velocity that one came out. And that one was straight through the end zone in the air. So Marine City will take over 1st and 10 on their own 20-yard line. What are you looking to see out of this Marine City offense with 2 minutes and 2 seconds left before the half? Up 11 right now. They only got 1 timeout. They're a run-heavy team, but obviously you saw the last time they scored, they have the ability to score quickly as they scored on a 60-yard screenplay as well.
They can break their run, so they're not just like a 2-3 yard running team. Yeah, they like to run it. I'd imagine them to run their offense regularly here for the first few plays and see what they get out of it and then go from there.
2 in the backfield, wing T formation. Walker under center. He's going to give to the up back, check that fake, and give to the back.
See, now that you get a 6-7 yard gain, you want to try to get some points here. You wish you had that other timeout that they had to use, but
that was number 32, Aaron Safi on the carry, good for 7 yards. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 3 situation.
See, one thing different in college and high school football than the pros is the clock stops on 1st down. So you really, obviously timeouts are important, but with the clock stopping, you get a lot more, plays to run.
Heavy backfield for the Mariners, tight end to the left. Give to the up back this time as he
scampers
all the way out to the 47-yard line. It looked like he was going to get ready to go. Big shoestring tackle, probably saved a touchdown there.
Jared Liniarski, apologize if I mispronounced that, but that was just a great, he was in the open field. If he broke that tackle, he might have took it the distance. Literally, you hit it on the head. He got the shoestrings, right?
He did, and, that running back took his arm with him as he was a little slow to get up, so we'll have to keep an eye on that one. But 2 now in the backfield.
Now you're running your plays. You got to try to score here. I mean, you're moving the ball.
Minute and 15 left to go in the first half. Clock still running as Walker is going to signal out of the original play call. Give to the up back once again. Carry out to the 4-yard line before he's bottled up and wrapped up by that St. Clair defense.
See, I don't know. I mean, you have to call a timeout now, or we'll see if they run up to the line.
Call a timeout or let it bleed as we are officially under a minute to go here in the second quarter. Ball on the 39-yard line. 45 seconds left. Marine City 14, St. Clair 3.
I think you're fair enough in there. You're down the field, so you don't have to really worry about St. Clair coming back and trying to score. So you've got everything open to you right now.
Walker, fake to the up back, rolling out to his right side.
He's got him
looking deep.
Great
chasing.
coverage.
Walker having to throw that away. A lot of time to throw that ball. He did a great job of buying himself some more time as the Saints defense was giving chase, but he bought himself enough time to try and get that receiver open. But great coverage as Walker has to let that one go out of bounds.
Yeah, I mean, there's different variations in what you call the route. I mean, the guy, he ran a little out, and then he tried to streak down the field. It was well covered by St. Clair. You got 30 seconds now. You got one timeout, 3rd and 9. I mean, it's a questionable decision here. You can either run it, or you could try to throw it one more time, punt the ball, and St. Clair should probably knee it, even if they punted get a decent punt off if they don't get the first down.
Mariners break the huddle, 3rd down and 9 situation. Full backfield, 3 in the tee, give to the up back. And he's going to put his head down and fall forward out to the 41-yard line.
We'll see if St. Clair takes a timeout here.
Clock ticking, 20 seconds left on the clock, and indeed St. Clair is going to call a timeout with 20 seconds left on the clock. That'll bring up a 4th down situation just shy of midfield. Marine City's going to have to punt the ball.
Yeah, so St. Clair's going to line up here. They're going to bring the house, try to get a block kick, not have any mistakes by somebody muffing a punt. If they don't get the block, I would assume they take a knee, head into halftime. So
we want to take this opportunity to let you guys know as the halftime approaches, we will bring both marching bands live over our broadcast airwaves for you. So make sure you stay tuned right here as we feature both marching bands tonight during the half. And, of course, we'll have second half action following that quickly right after that.
This is fun, man. Thanks for having me, Mac.
Absolutely. It's great to have you out here. You made the trip all the way up to Marine City for us. But, again, when you got 2 undefeated teams that are playing in a rivalry game for hardware with division title hopes on the line, you got to make this drive.
Oh, absolutely.
I know
sitting at 94 traffic was worth it, right?
Absolutely, and I know a lot of people in our area were asking for this game to be called as well. So not just a key game to us, but everybody around the MACOMB area conference knows that it's a big one.
They almost got to that, man.
Sent everybody to the house on that one.
Wow, look at this.
Schweiger is going to return that punt off a bounce and finally be tripped up at the 31-yard line. So with under 10 seconds to go, the St. Clair Saints offense will have an opportunity to strike. They'll have to march 69 yards to do so.
I mean, I'd assume you take a knee here, but we'll see. You never know. I mean, you could try to throw one deep, see what happens.
Austin Schweiger taking a risk on that bounce as well. That one did short hop right up to his chest. So good hand shown there by the athlete. And again, if that ball would have bounced around, there might not have been any time left on that clock. So let's see what the Saints do here.
I thought they were going to bring the house, leave no one back there. They brought the house, and we weren't exaggerating. They almost got to that.
Tight formation, single back for the Saints, looking like they're going to bleed this one out. Gleason drops back to pass, letting loose, incomplete, intended for Schweiger.
He had him on the out. I mean, he had him open, overthrew him a little bit. 5 seconds to go. Again, if it's me, I'm going to take it into the half, but we'll see what coach decides to do.
So the Saints we're trying to pick up around 15 yards and chunk a little bit against that defense. Again, no dice doing. Pass incomplete. That'll bring up 2nd and 10 from the 32, and essentially, barring a defensive penalty, this will be the last play of the first half.
Super exciting game, man. You know, me and you both coming from kind of the Mac White. I haven't got a chance to get out here and see this kind of environment, but, man, what a great environment. What a great game.
Absolutely. As the jet sweep, given around the left side, working that defensive edge, he'll be brought down. That'll be the end of the first half as we bring this one to a close. Marine City 14, St. Clair 3. As the Marine City faithful on their feet making some noise here, showing appreciation for what that Marine City squad has been able to do, bottling up that St. Clair offense, which is high-powered. You know, they've been scoring points all year unable to put a touchdown on the end zone. They threatened once, but had to settle for 3. But again, Marine City fans showing appreciation for what the Mariner squad able to do in this first half.
Yeah, I mean, you said it there. Marine City just plays very disciplined football on both sides of the ball. They don't really miss reads. They don't get in the wrong position on defense. But really, if you think about it, the St. Clair defense did well, too. They were put in a tough position on that first play, opening drive. Other than that turnover that, they gave up 5-6 yards for a touchdown, they've held on Marine City to 7 points as well.
Sure, so obviously not the start that St. Clair was trying to get off to with the interception and giving up the quick touchdown. But with that being said, they only find themselves down by 11 points here at the half. It's going to be an open ball game in the second half. Again, we'll keep an eye on the weather right now. Clear skies, nice 62-degree temp here in Week 7. It's a great night for football. 15 minutes on the clock as we welcome the St. Clair Saints marching band to the field. First, we welcome you to enjoy the sounds of the high school band as we check out for the next 10 minutes. You enjoy these high school marching bands. We'll be back for second half action right here on MACOMBpreps.com. Okay, so got hold of it. It was cool. Last kid, he's got a little man down the call, too. Hey, Craig. Welcome back to East China Stadium and welcome back to second half coverage of our Week 7 Game of the Week here on MACOMBpreps.com. It's great to be with you. Jerry Mack on the call alongside Kent Fiat. We're out here at East China Stadium where the Marine City Mariners and the St. Clair Saints are doing battle, and a battle it is right now. The rain's starting to fall as we reset this first half. St. Clair comes out with the opening kickoff, gives up the interception on the very first play of the game. Defense put in a tough situation as the Marine City Mariners took over on their first drive on St. Clair's 9-yard line, put 7 on the board. So a very, very, very tough start in this one for the St. Clair Saints, but they only find themselves down 11 in this one. Kent, what's your thoughts on that first half of action?
Yeah, I mean, you hit it. I mean, football is a sport where big plays is what determines outcomes, and having that, in such a big game, such an anticipated game, having that first play be an interception, giving up that touchdown, I think they fared pretty well for the first half.
Especially in a rivalry game. Yeah. Not a way you want to start that game by any means, but that team across the way, they showed a lot of grit and a lot of toughness and a lot of mental focus to be able to come back and establish themselves back in this ball game, which I think they did. Yeah. They ended up settling for a 25-yard field goal, but
would like to get
they
7,
established
they
that drive realistically in that second quarter when they haven't been able to do it all game. So you look for St. Clair to be able to keep that momentum going in the second half, and you expect to see a little bit different of attack.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, both these teams are very, very well disciplined. Both these teams play good defense. Marine City with that screen pass, just a great call, set up perfectly by the run. And that was the difference, really. They got that big play and they had that interception. Other than that, it's been a pretty fair game both ways. So just looking forward to an exciting second half here, man. Can't wait.
You mentioned it, that screen pass that ended up going for 60 yards. I mean, that's the difference between an 11-point game and a 4-point game, as there's 20 seconds left on these halftime festivities. We hope you enjoyed that Marine City marching band. We love showcasing all of the entire part of this high school atmosphere, which it's a beautiful atmosphere despite the weather that we're experiencing here out in Marine City right now. Both stands are absolutely packed. So again, we absolutely enjoy being able to bring that marching band to you at the half. So we hope you enjoyed that as the second half of play gets ready to get underway. Marine City will be moving left to right on this broadcast. They will receive this kickoff to start the second half. So an opportunity for the Mariners to put a dagger in the Saints' spirits to start the second half.
Yeah, this is a big possession for St. Clair. You got to get off the field. You'd like to get a 3-and-out, or at least give up, maybe at the most 1 first down. They really got to flip the field. They really were. The field position battle was lost by St. Clair. I mean, Marine City dominated the field position. Obviously, a big part of football.
Sean Donaldson set to kick it off. He sends it back around the goal line. That one's going to bounce and be taken out at the goal line, try and return, but the referee's going to call that one a touchback
They actually got lucky there because I think they were going to try a trick play on their own goal line. Yeah, I mean, that could have been bad. So I think the Marine City coaches will. I mean, the play setup I liked if it was not on their own goal line, right?
Absolutely. It could have been disastrous for Marine City, but instead they will take over 1st and 10 on their own 20 to begin the second half. Rain picking up here to begin the second half, off and on during the first half. Hasn't really been a factor. Again, we'll keep an eye on it as we move into the second half and how it affects this game.
Yeah, I expect a steady dose of running the football here, and then, like you said, sneaking in those play actions when they can.
Marine City coming back with that wing T formation, 2 in the backfield, 2 split out to the right. As the give is to the second back on the right side. That's Tigert, but not going very far, 2 or 3 yards at most on that pickup.
Yeah, big stop there by the St. Clair defense. Stayed in their gaps, made the play. Aiden Gadicke or Jack Dowland. There's 2 listed there at that number, so I just want to make sure I'm giving them both some credit here.
I want to take this opportunity to let everybody know that this second half production is brought to you by Big Bear Media Productions. For all your audio and video needs, give us a call at 586-567-2327 to make those happen. Empty backfield, jet motion, jet give. As that's Tigert around the left edge. He's going to work his way out to the 26-yard line, push his way out to the 29-yard line. So a great second effort there by Tigert.
Yeah, that was a great run. I mean, they had him stopped after about a 3-4 yard gain, it looked like, and he fought for an extra 2 or 3. He's made some big plays. He's a good player out there. Very talented, very quick. Always seems to be in the right place.
So a 3rd down and 1 situation here for the Mariners. Huge opportunity for St. Clair to be able to flip this field. We talked about field possession in that first half. 1 and both by Marine City.
That's a big play here.
Big opportunity.
I expect them to bring some. I mean, they're in the run-stopping formation. We'll see who wins up front.
Fake to the up back, give to the end man. That's number 32 out to the 42-yard line. Aaron Safi picks up the first down. Carries it out to the 41-42 yard line. Marine City's got a first down.
The number 23, Ethan White, was in there on the tackle for St. Clair. He seems to be in on a lot of plays, making some good plays there on the defensive end. But, unfortunately for St. Clair, you gave up another first down, and they're milking the clock and putting together a drive here.
Mariners break the huddle, 2 in the backfield, wing and tight end set to the right side. Ball spotted on the left, wing back motion. Give to the up back up the middle. He's going to fall forward for about 2 or 3 yards. Once again, that is Tigert.
Number 1, Charles Tigert with the carry.
Sophomore getting a heavy workload in a rivalry game. That's impressive.
That's Sean Donaldson. He does it all for St. Clair. Kicks the ball, punt, kicks off, field goal kicker, makes some good plays on defense. Definitely been an outstanding part of their of St. Clair's defensive effort here today.
2nd down and 8, just under 10 minutes to go, just underway in the second half. Give to the right side, out to the 50. He's got the edge, down to the 45, to the 40, 30, 28. Finally brought down by a pair of St. Clair Saints, but that was number 32, Aaron Safi on the carry, able to get that right side edge and show a burst of speed and power all the way down to the Saints' 27-yard line.
I didn't notice if it was number 5 or number 6, but let's give credit to both. Was it Derek Landis or Wes Upliger? Great block on the outside from a receiver. He was able to allow him to get outside and get an extra 15, 20 yards there.
So that misdirection give off to the right side, very successful on that play for Marine City. Let's see what they do here as they are now marching this field early on in this second half, up 11, 1st down and 10 situation. Split formation to the right. Empty backfield, Walker under center, jet motion coming to the short side, fake it, Walker's going to give it to the keep. He's going to take the keep, sorry about that, down to the 26-yard line, so nothing really doing for Walker.
That's a similar looking play to what St. Clair tried to do a couple times there, remember, in the first half, where quarterback does a little misdirection and then takes the ball upfield. So well played by St. Clair. Marine City was able to get some good yardage on that play in the first half. I think they got about a 7 or 8 yard gain, but they were well stopped and well contained there on that one.
Different look out of that one as the tackle was split extra wide and again 2 to the short side. So this time Mariners break the huddle. Full backfield, up back motion to the left side. Walker under center. He's going to give to the left back. That is Safi. Fights his way down inside the 20-yard line, continuing to push. He'll finally be stopped. Never brought down, but forward progress was stopped. Safi with a very, very, very tough run. As you hear this Marine City stands, appreciate that and get on their feet.
Yeah, I mean, that kid runs the football hard. There's no doubt about that. I mean, he does a great job. runs a little high, but he's able to kind of lower his shoulder when he needs to, and he really could. He does a great job shedding tackles.
So a nice pickup of yardage there for Safi. That'll bring up a 3rd down and 2. Marine City trying to work quick. 2 in the backfield. Give on the counter back to Safi on the left side. He's going to fall forward inside the 15-yard line and pick up another Marine City 1st down.
Yeah, this is not the drive St. Clair wanted. I'll tell you what. I mean, Marine City is coming out and establishing that up front. They're establishing the line of scrimmage, and when you do that, it's tough to beat anybody, really.
So we talked about the dominance at the line of scrimmage for the Mariners in the first half, and again, it's continuing here in this first drive of the second half. They're picking up the tempo, heavy backfield, full house. Give to Safi, working the left side of that offensive line, and again, falling forward, doing a great job of picking up a couple extra yards down to the 10-yard line. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 6 situation.
Yeah, if you're St. Clair, I think you got to try something here. You got to do some stunts. You got to do some type of blitzing with your linebackers because your base line is just getting beat off the ball too much, unfortunately, to really make any stops.
Mariners break the huddle, single back, 2 in the backfield. Check that this time. Tight end and wing to the right side. Walker under center. He's going to give to Safi again off the right side. McCutton to the inside and powering his way down.
He's at the half-yard line.
Official ruling. Looks like he'll be called down at the half-yard line, but he was fighting with every single thing he had to cross that goal line. But again, just stopped short. That'll set up a 1st and goal and a very short distance to goal for Marine City.
I'll bet you a Diet Coke and a hamburger, Safi gets the ball.
No huddle here. As Walker's going to try and keep it and push his way forward, but a great job there by that St. Clair defense, standing up that line of scrimmage and getting a push backwards. That was number 23, Ethan White.
Should have took the bet.
I should have. I didn't have enough time, though, with that quick offense to get my Slurpee and a hot dog. As Walker's going to have to come out for a play. He lost his helmet. So checking in at quarterback, I believe Charles Tiger is going to go to the Wildcat situation. We'll see how they actually line this up. But Walker having to come out because he lost his helmet on that keeper. Tiger now will move to the quarterback position.
The fun stat here, all three Walker brothers on the same roster. A senior, a junior, and a sophomore.
That's that small town football. You get that family name through Marine City, and it's nice.
Yep, pretty cool.
That happens often out here. So clock's still running, 6 minutes and 20 seconds to go here in the third quarter. 2nd down and goal from the 1 after the big defensive play by the Saints, as we're going to get a timeout called. That clock's going to wind all the way down. And a timeout by Marine City that's going to give Walker an opportunity to check back into that game. So a nice timeout called by that Marine City offense. So with 6 minutes and 13 seconds to go, we reset this first second half. Marine City will have a 2nd down and 1 to go from the goal line. As Marine City, the coaches and offense, going to talk this one through.
Riverfront Grill. Again, thank you for supporting Marine City High School athletics. And as a reminder, your 50-50 tickets at the end of this quarter, make sure you have them ready because we will call out the winning numbers at the end of the third quarter.
We get this break in action. We want to take this time to report some halftime scores from around the league. Lance Cruz North trails Grosse Pointe South 13-6 at the half. Warren Mott up on Utica 21-14 at the half, and Lincoln with the lead 8-7 right now.
Tiger, I believe, is the quarterback.
As
2nd and goal from the 1.
Tigert at quarterback, 2nd and goal from the 1. Wildcat, Tigert straight ahead, touchdown. Mariners strike up the cannon, a 1-yard plunge from Tigert. From the Wildcat situation, Marine City strikes on their first drive of the second half, and they will lead 20-3 here with 6 minutes and 10 seconds to go in this third quarter.
Yeah, great play call. I mean, when you can get Tiger and Soph in the same backfield, do a little, misdirection, who's going to get the ball, it's got to be tough for the defense to stop. Now, typically, I'm not a big fan of the Wildcat type look, but, I mean, with Marine City and the talent they've got back there, it's really tough to stop.
Felix Cap for the extra point. The kick is up, and it is struck well straight down the middle. That kick is up and good, so now a 21-3 lead for the Mariners over their crosstown rivals, the St. Clair Saints, as the rain once again picking up here at East China Stadium with 6 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the third quarter. So almost a 6-minute drive to open up this second half for Marine City. That's very impressive. Once again, they were able to establish their dominance on the offensive line.
Yeah, I don't think they drew up anything different than that in the halftime, in their halftime meeting. That's what they wanted to do. They wanted to come out, run the ball, get some points here to start the second half, and they did exactly what they came out. And they accomplished what they needed to do. Now St. Clair, I mean, this becomes, as I mentioned in the first half, it was never a do-or-die situation in the first half, but this does become a big drive for them. They have to get some points on the board here. I mean, they took off nearly 6 minutes on that drive of the quarter, right?
So a big upcoming drive for the St. Clair Saints as we take a look at some MAC Red scores around the league. Romeo football currently up on Dakota 20-7 at the half. Chippewa Valley beating Stevenson 14-6, and Anchor Bay trailing Ike 29-0 at the half. This kickoff is squibbed as it's bouncing around the 42-yard line. Squib kick up the middle, as it bounced off of one of the front men for the Saints and bounced around there for a little bit until it was recovered by number 23 for the Saints. That is Ethan White with the heads-up play. So the Saints will start their opening second half drive, 1st and 10 from their own 42-yard line. Nice field position, which we haven't been able to talk about a lot for St. Clair.
Yeah, that went from being close to being disastrous to being just a great thing for St. Clair. I mean, now they got the ball near midfield. Marine City wasn't meaning to do that. They meant to squib it, but unfortunately for them, it hit a body, and they were able to recover.
Shotgun formation, fake the jet sweep, pass over to number 11 is complete. Out to the 47-yard line. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 4 situation. So shotgun for the Saints. Gleason faked the jet sweep to Schweiger checked that, and pass complete to Lenarski out into the flat. He scampers his way out to the 46-yard line.
Yeah, as I mentioned, the Gleason can throw the football, so they're not out of the game. They've got to get some good pass plays. They got to get the ball downfield.
Pistol formation, 2 in the back, set to the left side of Gleason. Gleason give to Ruba. Ruba off to the right side, tackle, not much going, as he's going to pick up a yard, if that, and bring up a 3rd down and 5 situation for the Saints. Ruba's a guy that they got to get going. He's a very physical and athletic running back, and if he gets an opportunity to get a corner and has an opening, he's going to take it and score. But again, the discipline from that Marine City defense, being able to bottle that outside run in and force it back in, they've been able to contain Ruba pretty well tonight, and that's, as far as I'm concerned, been the key for that Marine City defense.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, that's what I said. When you talk about football, controlling line of scrimmage is what wins games. He's a great running back, but he just hasn't had many holes.
Gleason, single back, just outside of midfield. Gleason rolls out to his left side. Pass almost picked off.
Now, he got there a little early. He could have got a flag on that. They didn't throw one.
Schweiger, passing complete around the 45-yard line. Well defended there, as there was no penalty. Looked like he got there a little bit quick.
It was close. Yeah, it was
no
close.
Flag, you call it good defense. St. Clair is going to look at a 4th and 4 situation.
That's a big decision.
48.
What are you doing here, Mac? I don't know. It's just.
Well, right now, if you're, it's tough to say. If you're sitting on that sideline and you're feeling a little antsy, it might be time to pull the trigger, which it looks like they're going to leave that offense on. They're thinking about it. Personnel package coming in, so bear with us as we figure out what's going on.
Now, here's what you don't want to do. You don't want to have to take a timeout here. So if you decide that you don't want to go for it, then just take a delay of game.
Correct.
Punt the ball. A lot of times coaches will make that timeout call, and it's a wasted timeout.
So the Saints breaking the huddle.
So they're going to go for it, though.
And it looks like they are going to take that timeout.
Now here's the thing. Now, if you're going to go for it, you take your timeout, right? But if they had made the decision there that they wanted to punt, a lot of times you see coaches make the mistake, take a timeout. Why not just take the delay of game?
Absolutely. So timeout called by the Saints. They're going to think about it. 4th down and 4 situation. They find themselves down 21-3 here in the third quarter.
My thing is this. I mean, if my defense had showed really an ability to stop Marine City's run game, then I'm going to punt the ball. It just looks to me, and things can change in the blink of an eye, but it looks to me that they're just being beat up a little bit up front, And, if you punt the ball to Marine City, you might not get it back to the fourth quarter.
You might not, and that's the thing. You're going to put a lot of pressure on your defense, but either way, it's going to be time for the St. Clair Saints to make a decision and wake up. So if they punt this away, there's going to be a lot of pressure on this defense to keep their team in it, because any score at this point from Marine City with time taken off the clock is going to be detrimental for the Saints. So again, it's either going to be up to their offense to pick up this first down and get this momentum rolling, or they're going to punt it away and put the pressure on the defense. It looks like they're going to decide to go for it, as Gleason's going to be under center, trips to the left, single back. Gleason fakes the toss, rolls out to the right side, got a receiver looking for him.
Oh, he dropped it.
It is incomplete, wide open receiver as Gleason delivered the pass. Hit his man, intended for number 22, Duncan Gillis, but in and out of the hands of the senior, and that'll be a turnover on down. So a costly drop for St. Clair. Would have moved the chains. Instead, Marine City taking over 1st and 10 inside St. Clair territory with 4 minutes and 36 seconds to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, that was unfortunate because I really think they had a good play out there. They had the receiver to the right side run a little slant and corner, and then what that did was clear out the other receiver to drag across the middle. He was open, just wasn't able to haul it in.
So here comes that Marine City offense, and we expect a heavy dose of run and clock ticking here on this drive.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if I don't see Soph handle the ball quite a bit on this possession.
Rain picking up as we appreciate the statisticians from Marine City telling us how to pronounce that young man's last name. So we apologize about misspeaking at the first half. It is pronounced Soph. Soph.
You can't still get it wrong, man.
Ball carried out to the 40-yard line for Marine City. Great opening play. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 7 situation.
Sounds like NFL referees, not being able to make the change on pass interference calls after they can see it. You get the name given to you and you still mess it up.
I still can't do it. You know what? That won't be the last time tonight either. I promise you that. Marine City with the ball. 2 in the backfield, double tight for the Mariners. Wing to the right side, give to Soph. He's got the edge, down to the 40, down to the 35, powering his way down to the 30. As you hear those cowbells starting to get a little bit louder on this Marine City sideline, they appreciate those hard runs coming from the senior.
Yeah, I mean, he runs hard. There's nothing more to say about that. Runs very hard, puts his head down. One of the things I mentioned a little bit before, but what Marine City really does, I've been paying attention to it, is they really block on the outside. You're not getting receivers who are half button blocks. You know what I mean? I mean, those guys come out and hit you.
1st and 10 situation now. Under 4 minutes to go in this third quarter. Marine City controlling this game and controlling the second half as well. Give up the middle, left side. So check that. That is number 42 on the carry for Marine City. That's the junior, Darius Watson Jr. Carries the ball down to the 24-yard line of the Saints. That'll bring up a 2nd and 4 situation. So Marine City once again knocking on that St. Clair red zone.
Yeah, it looked like they got a bright future with Watson too. He looked just like Soph as far as size goes. I mean, he's a hard runner in there. There's really no shortage of guys that run the ball hard for Marine City.
Something tells me that their kids fit into their program and scheme awfully well up here. Walker, fake, drops back to pass, gives off to the right side, complete to his receiver. Got Salas down to the 12-yard line. That's number 2, Angelo Patsalis, the captain, wide receiver, as we've got an injured player for the Saints.
I'll tell you what's going to go unnoticed on that play is the block from the running back. Running back came in there, took the guy rushing off the edge and just stepped in and made a great block, gave his quarterback extra 2-3 seconds to throw the ball.
So once again, a perfectly called play-action pass at the right time by Marine City. They pick up the first down. They are now deep inside of St. Clair territory, 1st and 10 on the Saints' 13-yard line. We are under 3 minutes to go in this third quarter as we still have a pause in action for an injured St. Clair player.
Yeah, football's an easy game when you control the line of scrimmage. I mean, when you control the line of scrimmage, there's not much that the defense can do, and you have pretty much everything available to you in your arsenal. I mean, you can run it, you can play action it. That's the key to winning this sport.
Well, I know it's the old cliche of winning the battle in the trenches is going to do wonders for you, but in a Mac Silver battle like this between these two teams, in a rivalry game especially, I mean that cliche plays out in full force, and Marine City's doing exactly what they wanted to do, run the ball, establish their identity. They're doing exactly what they've been bred to do and what they've wanted to do all game long without having to even make an adjustment. So Marine City just doing it big in this game so far.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, you said it. I mean, if when you watch it, let's say when you watch that Michigan-Wisconsin game, right, without getting too much into those guys, I mean, Wisconsin just dominated the line of scrimmage, and
established
when you do
an
that,
identity, absolutely.
You just can't do anything to stop it, really. This one hasn't been as dominant. I mean, St. Clair's made some plays here and there. The problem is it's like every other play, it's 3, 4, 5 yards.
Absolutely. So Marine City just continuing to chunk away on the side. And again, we talked about it in the first half, but field position has got to be wearing on this St. Clair defense as well, because it's not, like you said, it's not like they aren't making the plays and they aren't, holding the responsibilities. But when you're forced short field every single time, it's a tough go for that Saints defense right now. So with under 3 minutes to go, they find themselves down 18 points. What is it that St. Clair needs to do to find themselves to get back in this one?
Well, you got to regroup. This is, obviously you never want to see anybody be hurt, but this is a chance for the defense to get a little bit of rest. And then you got to come out and you got to make a stop. I mean, it's easier said than done, but St. Clair isn't undefeated for no reason. I mean, they're a good football team. Like we said, they've had some bad breaks in this game. When your offense isn't doing much too, it's tough for your defense to be on the field, to be making those stops against a team as strong, as disciplined as Marine City. So, I mean, there's no secret to what they have to do. They have to get a stop. If they give up any more points, it's going to be a tough road to come back.
So, defensively, when do you really start to get antsy, seeing the fact that Marine City is just able to control this ball? They kept the ball for 6 minutes on their opening drive. They've had the ball for well over 2.5 minutes at this point and continuing to carry the ball and still have the ball. At what point is the hot button pushed for that St. Clair defense, if not already?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been pushed. The problem with the coaches, he's in a tough situation because, again, Marine City's not a team that can't throw it, right? So you've almost got to bring more people up into the box to stop the run because you're getting beat up a little bit up there. But if you do that, then you're susceptible to that pass, right? So, I mean, it's a tough situation. I think you got to bring heat, you got to stack the box, and you got to make them beat you through the air.
As the athletic trainers are still attending to that injured St. Clair player, extending this pause in action here for a little bit. Rain starting to pick up again as well. It's been pretty much around this entire second half right now. So as St. Clair finds themselves in a position where they're going to have to start connecting on those passes. I mean, we saw one receiver lose his footing already and drop, not be able to connect on a third down play. We saw another receiver, that ball went right through his hands. I'm sure that ball was wet as well. Again, on a third down situation, the weather is not playing into the favor of these Saints trying to make a comeback right now either.
No, rain feels a whole lot better on the football field when it's hitting you and you're up 21-3 than it does when you're down, right? So,
absolutely.
I mean, as I mentioned in the beginning, the rain isn't as big of a deal when it's tied, but when you're down and you're pressing and there's things, and then you're facing a team like Marine City who can run that football, I mean, it's just a tough road to hoe to come back. Mac, have you figured out where we're going next week?
We do have a couple of games in mind right now. We might put it to the fan vote, but we are looking at that Dakota Romeo game. Obviously, we got to wait for some final scores to come out, but that Romeo Chippewa Valley game is setting up to have some MAC Red implications and really establish that winner next week. So we're going to look at that game. There's a couple of games in the lower divisions as well. This game being played in the MAC Silver has title game implications. There's going to be some implications going on in the MAC Bronze as well, as we take this opportunity to actually take a look at those standings around the league. Taking a look at the Bronze right now, Clintondale in first place in the bronze with a 4-2 record. Again, Clausen right behind them. They had started the season 0-2, but rattled off 3 wins for the Trojans before falling last week to this Marine City team that we're watching right now. So again, things battling itself out. Kent, we're in this week 7 of the high school season, so you know how quick this thing goes, and it's at this point we're in the final leg of this regular MACOMB area conference season. So over these next few weeks, we're going to have some champions crowned for sure.
Absolutely. I mean, this is the big time. This is when your season, you can make it or break it. There's teams fighting to get into the playoffs. There's a team that's already clinched it but trying to win a league title. So there's just great games all around. I know you guys went out to Stevenson and Utica last week.
Yes, we were at Stevenson and Utica. We've put ourselves in a position. We've been able to see a lot of great teams from around the MACOMB area conference. We've got 36 teams in the league this year with the addition to Hazel Park. Last year, personally, was able to see 26 of those teams. We are on pace to see even more this year. We've had some bonus coverage on some Friday night games because of some weather delays. We've got a Saturday game that we're going to be able to get to see a couple of games. So, we're out here, we're seeing all those games, and it's great. The MACOMB area conference, in my opinion, and I've coached in the OAA, I've covered the PSL. There's a lot of talent out there, but from top to bottom, this MACOMB area conference is top notch for sure.
Absolutely, it's been a powerhouse conference forever. I think it's kind of cool that you see some of the guards change, from years to years and decades to decades, and different teams. You still got some of the same old powerhouses, but different programs get better, some slip down. It's just good football. You always see a MAC school somewhere towards the state championship. So I mean, it's fantastic football.
Yeah, we're watching 2 teams right now that could very well see themselves in a state championship setting come the end of this season. St. Clair and Marine City. Both teams capable of making deep runs. Again, this one a little bit lopsided on the scoreboard. It's a little bit surprising, but again, it's a rivalry game. Things happen. It's 21-3 right now. I'm still not going to count St. Clair out of this one, but again, a team that is both of these teams are primed to make runs in the postseason. We've had 3 teams already clinch their spots from the MACOMB area conference in the playoffs. We've got another batch of teams that are going to be able to clinch with wins if they get them tonight. So just a lot of great things going on in the MAC as we get a chance to spotlight the MAC Gold divisions. And Kent, you had mentioned part of the thing that's beautiful about the MAC is the changing of the guard, and that MAC Gold division right now is a prime example of that. Warren Woods Tower has won the last 4 divisions there. They got off to a great start. Unfortunately, they're a young team and experienced some injuries at the quarterback and skilled position. So Warren Woods Tower, they're struggling right now. So they find themselves down at the bottom of that conference with Fitzgerald. And at the top of that conference right now, the Sterling Heights Stallions. Coach Dave Cutlip back at the helm. It's an old school name that you see back at the helm for the Sterling Heights Stallions. And the success is right back and flipped. So good story coming out of Sterling Heights. That's another school that we are looking to go see next week. I believe they've got a game with Lance Cruz next week that's going to decide that MAC Gold battle, as Lance Cruz, another surprising team with the first-year head coach. They're undefeated in MAC Gold play and 4-2 overall with a team that didn't win any games last year.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, you mentioned Coach Cutlip, and
that's a name that should sound familiar to you.
Yeah,
that's a throwback to the past.
Yeah. He coached with my father at Stevenson a while back, and not only that, he coached against me when I played at Sterling Heights, and he was at Stevenson again for a short stint about 5-6 years ago when his son played there, and basically everywhere that Coach Cutlip goes, they play great defense for the most part. I mean, he really knows what he's doing. Great coach, great guy.
As you mentioned, that defense, that Sterling Heights team, only giving up 131 total points on the year. So, obviously, Coach Cutlip coming in and putting his fingerprint on that team, coming back in his first year once again. Looking at the MAC Blue, there's a game going on just about 20 miles up the road that's taken a lot of attention. In fact, Darius Slay, big play Slay from the Detroit Lions, made his way up to that game, and he's actually checking it out. But the Port Huron Northern Huskies and the Port Huron Big Reds doing battle up at Memorial Field. And I tell you what, I've been to that game. We've been to that game as a staff when Port Huron has been 0-8 going into that game, and that place is a madhouse. So now you've got two teams that are 5-1. Port Huron also undefeated in the MAC Blue Division. I can only imagine. I'm surprised we don't hear that stadium rocking from 20 miles away right now, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, I remember being in that stadium when I was a young kid on the sidelines. Stevenson and some of the MAC schools would play playoff games there, and beautiful stadium. Still got those brick seats, I think, and when you kick your extra point, you still got to get the football off the roof. From
the blockhouse side, and of course the other end gets you kicked right into over a fence into an open field as these fans and players
really hope
giving
this guy's okay
the
here.
Injured St. Clair Saint hand. We're still waiting on a number there. Obviously, we're not going to disclose any sort of injury information, but obviously a tough scene here to watch from the press box. Stretcher is out on the field. Obviously, we've had an extended pause in action. These two teams are stretching on the sideline trying to get themselves warmed back up. So they are attending to that situation, and again, good to see him getting taken care of, and obviously at least sitting up at this point, and these fans recognizing it and giving him a hand. Again, it's a rivalry game. These two teams are beating the crap out of each other on the field, but great sportsmanship from this Marine City fans. Grosse Pointe South, one of those teams with an opportunity to clinch a playoff spot. They are undefeated in the MAC White, 5-1 overall as well. They've won 5 straight, looking for a 6th straight win. Grosse Pointe South is a team that has a lot of success in the MAC White over the years. Probably a team that you look to move up into the MAC Red when conference realignment comes. But Grosse Pointe South just always a team coming towards playoff time that always ends up in a tough PSL draw with a talented team. So we'll see what happens with Grosse Pointe South at the end, postseason, as the injured St. Clair Saint making his way off on a stretcher. We offer our best wishes and hope everything is well with that young man, and we offer our thoughts to his parents right now, which in a rivalry game, week 7, it's not something you want to see your son go off that way in a rivalry game. So our best wishes to that young man, and a speedy recovery, and we hope everything is well as we get ready to resume play here in the third quarter. 2 minutes and 49 seconds to go. Marine City leading 21-3 over the St. Clair Saints in this battle for the bell.
Yeah, and then it looks like the weather might be rolling in here a little bit too. Hear a little bit of thunder. So hopefully that holds off. We've got a good football game going here, and look to get back to action right now.
So a 1st down and 10 situation for Marine City. They marched the half length of this field again. Deep motion, give to the up back. That's Tigert. Breaks to the outside, down to the 5-yard line. Stood up by a St. Clair defense, but continuing to push his way down to the 2 or 3 yard line. I tell you what, Tigert, he's a sophomore, but that kid gets his legs moving, and he's a physical runner.
I didn't realize he was a sophomore. I mean, he's a heck of a player for that. That was a very powerful run. He's got quickness, he's got power and agility. He's a great player.
Yeah, we're talking about a sophomore skilled athlete who's physical enough to come in here and play in a power style offense against a very, very, very physical defense. And that young man has had a heck of a workload tonight. So a very exciting future for Tigert, as well as Marine City's going to have a first and goal situation on the 4-yard line. Empty backfield, jet motion, give, soft. Check that. Pat Salas around the left side. But a great job by that St. Clair defense, not giving anything up. Stopped at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, ran a little jet motion there, tried to get to the outside, wasn't able to do so. If I would imagine here you're going to get a steady dose of Soph or Taggart.
Right up the middle. I agree. So we've got a 3rd down and 2 situation. Marine City looking to put a dagger in this one late in the third quarter. Heavy rain here at East China Stadium. Wing T formation, 2 in the backfield.
Watch a play action pass here too.
There's the give to Soph. Right side, touchdown, Marine City.
And walked right in.
Walked right in. That hole was awfully wide. Soph in from 4 yards out, putting Marine City up by 4 scores.
A young man running there with the pirate flag. What a great scene, just running down the sidelines, super pumped up.
This is a great atmosphere to take in. Obviously, they got the cannon out. They got the boat.
Was that a cannon?
That was a cannon. You didn't see me jump when we were setting this place up and they tested that thing?
You're shooting real cannonballs over there?
Brought me back to my Central days. At least over then, I knew it was coming. But they lit that bad boy off for a test run when I was setting up this equipment and damn near sent me through the roof, Ken.
That's a little scary, I'll be honest with you. They're shooting off real cannonballs. Get out of here.
So Marine City now with the 27-3 lead. Extra point attempt by Felix Cap, the junior kicker. He's going to try and make it a 28-3 lead for the Mariners. There is the snap. It is down. The kick is up.
I almost got to that kick.
I almost got to that one, but that is snuck inside the left upright and good. So with 1 minute and 8 seconds to go here in the third quarter, Marine City 28, St. Clair 3, and this one is just a shocker to me right now as we see a lopsided scoreboard.
Yeah, expect a little closer game, but like you said, you know, when it's a game of plays, and when certain things don't go your way, things can escalate quickly against good teams, and a game can get out of hand.
So St. Clair now down 25 points with essentially a quarter left to play, plus a little bit of change. They're going to get the ball back. But what is St. Clair going to have to do to get themselves back in this game now?
Throw the ball. They got to throw it. I mean, you can't really run it. You don't have enough time.
They haven't been able to.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I mean, they haven't been able to run it. They haven't been able to do anything.
Lack of time. They haven't been able to establish any sort of run game. So
yeah, and then you know, it's easy to say you got to throw the ball, but you also got to understand that the defense knows they got to throw the ball too. So that makes it hard to, you know, get anybody out open downfield.
Cap set to kick it off. Schweigert back deep for the Saints. Returns from the 12-yard line, a little bit of space and opening, busted out to midfield, returned all the way out to the 44-yard line.
That's a good start.
That is a nice start and exactly what the Saints needed. Returned by number 11, Gerald Lenarski back there, the senior. Great return out to the 43, 44-yard line for the Saints, where they're going to take over 1st and 10 in desperate need to get some points on the board and get some momentum going.
Yeah, you don't got to panic too much. I mean, I did say you got to throw, and you do have to throw, but you can mix some draws in there. You can mix some other stuff like that. You got to get 7. You have to get 7 here.
This rain is giving us a steady downpour, so we're going to see how that plays into the play call and the execution for the Saints. St. Clair breaking the huddle. Gleason pistol formation. That's Ruba set behind him. Play action. Gleason chucks it out to the right, and that ball just soared, slipped right out of his hands and sailed on him. That one intended for number 22, Duncan Gillis, but incomplete, so 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, Gleason hasn't been able to really get his feet set much this game. He's had a lot of rush. I mean, not sacked too many times, but when I saw him in warm-ups, he was able to plant that back foot, step into the throw. He was hitting stuff left and right. He really just hasn't been able to find a rhythm today. And credit that to, you know, the Marine City pressure, too. I mean, it's not all on him. He can't seem to be able to step up in the pocket.
Gleason under center, single back, 2 to each side. Gleason drops back, looking to his right. Quick pass intercepted as Marine City dropped back into that zone as Gleason just dropped back and let it go. That's intercepted by number 10, Mason Walker, one of the Walker brothers. That's the junior. And Marine City's going to take over 1st and 10 at their own 48-yard line, already up 25 points with 53 seconds to go in the third quarter.
Do you think they're competitive at home with who had the better game, or do you think it's just all celebration?
I bet you they go straight home and hit that Xbox, and that's or the PlayStation. That's probably where most of the competition comes from, as this rain is starting to amp up. So as the defense, as the Marine City defense starts to pick up, so does this rain. And again, as you mentioned, when you're on the bright side of that scoreboard, that rain sometimes feel good, huh? They're going to have a nice cold party after this one.
Absolutely.
Walker under center. He's looking to go deep. He's got a man. That's Tiger. Oh! Bobbled. Tipped to himself as Tiger recovers. Touchdown. Marine City, 52 yards in the air. Once again, the play action pass. Marine City looking to strike deep and put a nail in the coffin, then that's exactly what they do as Walker connects to Tiger for 52 yards and another Marine City touchdown.
This place is rocking, man. That was just such great concentration on his part. He was open, the ball was a little bit underthrown, he was able to kind of, shed the defender, bounce it off his hands, and then right back into his hands. Just a great catch.
So we can't wait to get video highlights of that one again. It looked like he was wide open. Great closing speed there by the St. Clair defender. That ball was tipped up in the air, and Tiger just able to look it in, and just, again, the athleticism by the sophomore as the extra point is up and good. Marine City 35, St. Clair 3. The Mariners all over the Saints in the battle for the bell at East China Stadium. And back to that touchdown play. Again, the athleticism by the sophomore. Not only has he been doing it out of the backfield, but he runs the deep route, hauls that one in, and then scampers, and of course the swag as he steps his way into the end zone. You got to love it from a sophomore.
Yeah, fantastic play. Like I said, I think he was open early. The ball's a little bit wet. I think the quarterback slipped a little bit, underthrew him. Receiver was able to come back, tip it to himself almost, re-catch the ball, and
show it off a little bit on the way into the end zone. So again, this rain, a steady downpour. We got 45 seconds to go in the third quarter. It's all Marine City in this rivalry, 35-3. And I tell you what, that's the type of stuff that fires up a defense and makes that squad even more hungry. I'm sure they're not going to want to give up any more points to the St. Clair offense themselves.
Yeah, it's tough to be. They want to, make some plays defensively. St. Clair is going to want to put some points on the board, but with this weather, it's going to be tough.
As Cap puts the kickoff on the ground and sends the squib kick in between the hashes, that was bouncing around and finally downed by Lenarski. As the St. Clair Saints are going to have an opportunity here, 1st and 10 from their own 23-yard line.
But windy again, out there. Papers are blowing all around the press box, Mac. I don't know what's going on.
We're having ourselves a party up here. They're partying down on the field. We're going to have to get this party going in this press box as well, as we are side by side with local Channel 6 up here. Give up the middle. That's Ruba fighting his way forward. He'll be stood up at around the 25-yard line where forward progress will stop that play.
That should do it for the call. I think they have to get one more play off. I don't know when the ref's going to start that play clock.
Yeah, the ball's not spotted yet. They're taking their time, so potentially the end of the third quarter. But we will see. Again, you don't want to put yourself in a third down and long situation to start the fourth quarter. But again, you don't want to waste any precious moments down 32 points either.
No, I think they're going to. If they're trying to get a playoff, I don't think they're going to do it.
And they didn't. They broke the huddle, but unable to get that timeout as the hands go up into the air. Instantly, it's the fourth quarter here at East China Stadium. Marine City 35, St. Clair 3. And again, we've got one quarter to go. A lopsided ball game. To our surprise, and again,
press box is shaking up here, Mac. I'm getting a little worried. The fans are going crazy. People are jumping around. What a game.
It is, and again, a great high school atmosphere up here in Marine City as they are the home team. It's a shared field, right? So a little bit something that we're both familiar with. Stevenson and Ford shared that field with you guys. Eisenhower and Utica shared the field with us, and if I may, Kent, bring it back to the glory days one time. We had the Battle of Swinehart when Utica and Eisenhower were both undefeated, 8-0 going into that one, which didn't happen. I shouldn't even say often because it was the only time that it did happen. But again, that atmosphere was wild for this one. And it's a little bit more of a smaller town field up here in Marine City. But this East China Stadium shared between these two teams, and obviously a lot of pride will go into this one. Marine City looking to come out with bragging rights as they lead 35-3. Start of the fourth quarter, Gleason under center. He's going to roll out to his right side. Got a receiver wide open. Got him connected at the 40-yard line. That's Evan Krushke finally being brought down at the 35. So the first blown assignment that we saw by a very disciplined Marine City defense. St. Clair's going to rush up to the line and try and get a playoff here, push the tempo. But you got to like what you see, and obviously the start to the fourth quarter that the St. Clair Saints needed if they're going to make a ball game out of this.
Absolutely. They needed that play. It was a big play. Now they got to put the ball in the end zone.
Gleason, I formation, tight end to the left side, under center, gets the snap, off to Ruba in the middle. He's got himself a seam, yards after contact. able to pick up an additional yard, but again, with Ruba, it's very difficult to bring him down. Marine City's done a great job of keeping him contained because, again, you see the physical style of runner that Ruba is, and if he gets away from you the first time, you better have a squad of defenders to bring him down the second time.
Yeah, he's making it to the second level, just Marine City's doing a great job at that level of not letting him go any further.
No, and again, the old defensive cliche, get helmets on the ball, and that's exactly what Marine City is doing. Single back formation for the Saints. 2 split to the wide side of the field up top. Jet motion to the right side. Fumble on the play. Ruba's going to pick that up and roll out to his left, try and make something. Giving chase is Taggart as Ruba is going to cut the corner and zigzag his way and turn a negative play into a positive, picking up 4 yards.
Yeah, I mean, that was nothing but athleticism. I mean, that play should have been stopped for 6-7 yard loss. He was able to use his speed, get outside, and get a positive gain.
So again, Gleason going under center, and you see a miscue, probably due to the wetness, as this weather seems to be affecting the St. Clair Saints more than the Marine City Mariners.
Yeah, this is a big play here, 3rd and 6. I mean, the play I really liked they ran in the first half was that 4th down play where they dragged the receiver over the middle. They had him open. He dropped the 4th down pass. I'd like to see that ran again here.
Trips to the wide side of the field down low. Gleason, pistol formation, drops back, looking over the middle, lets it go. He's got a receiver going to the end zone.
Oh.
Tipped in the air, and an opportunity. That was Lenarski. An opportunity for him to pull in the tip pass, but unable to bring that one in. St. Clair taking a shot at the end zone, but incomplete. They're going to face a 4th down and 6 situation and a must pick up 1st down for the Saints.
That was a good ball. I mean, he threw that 40, 45 yards in the air. Tad bit underthrown, but it was a heck of a ball. Just couldn't make the catch. 4th and 6. I mean, I'd like to see something here, a little medium range. Try to get some people dragging across the middle of the field, maybe an out to the short side, whatever. But you got to get to the sticks.
Absolutely, got to keep this play alive as Gleason's going to find himself under center. 4 wide receivers, 2 to each side, single back. Gleason rolls out to his right side, pressured quickly, got to get rid of it, complete.
He fell down
but he
short,
fell down short of the line of gain, I believe. That is complete to Kruschke. He lost his footing. Fortunately for him, that route was ran past the sticks, so great awareness by Kruschke and Gleason to find him. But again, great awareness by Kruschke to get his route.
I'm sorry to cut you off. Did you see how Gleason threw that ball? He was basically running to the right, jumped in the air off his back foot, and got the ball there.
Well, upon getting the snap, he sprinted directly out to the right side, and there was a lot of pressure off that edge, so he was forced to get rid of it quickly as Gleason's going to give Ruba the toss to the left side, working his way down to the 22-yard line. So St. Clair trying to get some speed over to the edge, but the Marine City defense just not having it.
Yep, doing what they've done all game, keep it containment, not letting anybody get outside. I mean, the only time St. Clair's been able to get outside was on the botched fumble there.
So going back to that 1st down pickup 2 plays ago for St. Clair, we saw that play earlier on when they needed a 4th down pickup, but the receiver had lost his footing. This time they were able to connect. That mid-range pass has been open for St. Clair. They got to get back to it going forward.
It has been. It's been open there. They just haven't been able to really connect with it. Except for this drive, they've been able to pass the ball.
Trips to the left side as Gleason waves Schweigert over to the right side to split the pair of wide receivers. Gleason drops back to pass. He's going to be pressured. He's sacked by that Marine City defense. Gleason trying to get out of it, but he was tripped up by his own offensive lineman, and the sack finished off by that defensive line.
Yeah, I thought they had something good there going. It looked like a good drop. He got the snap, took about 5-step drop, stepped into the pocket. He just didn't see anything, and then when he tried to scramble, Marine City was all over him.
So what happened to the Saints is what could not happen, and that's loss of yardage. They are now looking at a 3rd down and 21, so a 3rd down and long. And they've been having a tough time getting 1st downs as is. Putting themselves in a 3rd down and 21 situation doesn't help the cause at the Marine City 35.
Yeah, sure doesn't. I mean, but it's football. You got to make a play here. Someone's got to go and make a catch.
Split pair. Gleason drops back to pass, looking to the right side, steps up in the pocket under pressure once again, and he's going to escape pressure. Flag down, but he's finally going to be sacked.
We're going to have a 15-yard face mask.
That was number 68 for Marine City. Derek Schlottman finally able to corral Gleason. showing his athleticism to get out of that pocket a couple of times. Looked like he was going to escape, but every single time it looks like a hole opens up, it quickly disappears as that Marine City defense closes quick.
Yeah, absolutely. Gleason, like you said, he had a little bit of time, then he tried to scramble. Marine City doesn't have that. They close on the ball quick. Unfortunately for Marine City, somebody got the hand in on the face mask, and that's going to give St. Clair a first down.
So first down, indeed. We'll check that. That will be not personal foul face mask, so that'll be a 3rd down and 12 situation. So another opportunity for St. Clair to pick this one up. Fortunate that they're going to get another opportunity to pick it up, but they're going to have to do it facing a 3rd down and 12, ball spotted on Marine City 26.
Not an automatic first down in high school?
I thought it was as well, but we're going to have to polish up on that, Kent. 3rd and 12 on the spot. Gleason under center, trips to the wide side on the left. Fake toss to Ruba.
Oh, good block.
Gleason stepping up in the pocket, looking for Schweigert, and double coverage. Knocked away nicely out there by the Marine City defensive backfield as Gleason taking a shot deep to the corner for Schweigert, but incomplete. That'll bring up a 4th down and 12 situation. Great coverage on the play for Marine City.
That was great coverage. A lot of people think that there's a rule for face guarding, which there isn't, but it looked like he could have got his hand up there, but it was clean. It was a good no call.
That safety made his way up over the top, and I would have liked to see Gleason get rid of that ball a little bit quicker. He had to before stepped up into that pocket, but if he could just get rid of it and out throw that defensive back, he had an opportunity there.
Yeah, he had to turn his back to the defense because he made a fake, and then once he turned around,
pistol
he just
formation. Gleason gets the ball, drops back.
Got all the time in the world today.
He's got time this time. Steps up in the pocket, looking to the middle of the field, and that one's going to be intercepted by the Marine City defense.
Dropped it.
Incomplete is the call. It looks like Walker had his hands on that one.
Gleason had him there, fluttered on him a little bit, the ball,
Well, Gleason had all the time in the world, like you had mentioned there. Stepped up in the pocket and threw across his body. Not something normally you want to do. And that one was darn near picked off by the Marine City defender, but it was dropped in the end zone. But nonetheless, it was a 4th down, so that'll force a turnover on downs, and Marine City will take over once again, 1st and 10. Quick pause in action for an injured Mariner player.
Any more updates on the scores, Mac, or we got anything new?
Yeah, we'll have to take a look in there, see what we got going on. It's a great opportunity to tell all of our listeners, if you're out and about on a Friday night and you're checking out games, make sure you tweet at us all night long at MacPreps. That's where all of our scores come in, and we keep you updated. And, of course, our scoreboard will be up to date on MACOMBpreps.com following the conclusions to all the games. We're going to give you this game in its entirety on our YouTube page. We're going to have scoring highlights, plenty of Marine City scoring highlights in this one as the injured Mariner player makes his way up to his own feet and walks off on his own power. That was number 58, Josh Headley. So nice to see him walk off the field on this one. But again, going back to it, we'll have highlights of this game on our Twitter page, on our Facebook page, on our YouTube. Make sure you follow us on all 3 platforms, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And, of course, every week we're bringing you live coverage. Kent, we're going to roll this coverage into winter sports this year. I'm excited to do it.
Yeah, I can't wait. Like I said, I think I really enjoyed doing it. The website is fantastic, phenomenal. I mean, I go there every time I'm looking for scores. Really done a great job with that, and love to see more people check it out. I mean, it really just gives anybody who's sitting at home an opportunity to check out scores and see what's going on, keep up to date with high school football and sports in general.
Absolutely. We are quickly becoming Macomb County's #1 guide to prep media, and we pride ourselves in that. So, we want to take this opportunity as we reach the 6-minute mark here in the 4th quarter. Full backfield for Marine City, Walker under center. But again, we want to take this opportunity to let local business owners know that MACOMB Preps is actively seeking sponsors and advertisers to help support the costs of our fastest growing high school sports coverage in the area. So if you're a local business in the Macomb area conference, or just specifically want to get your business name into Macomb, into the Macomb County area, we are a great opportunity to do that for you. So you can contact us at macpreps@gmail.com. We can get you over packages for advertising, get your name out. And again, we've got Twitter, we've got Facebook, we've got our website, we've got our YouTube page, we got full game highlights. highlights. We've got games in its entirety. We got weekly coverage. We're doing it all. We're trying to do as much for you as possible here at MACOMB Preps.
Absolutely.
Walker under center, give to the up back, out to the 40, as that is number 3, Anthony Rensel. First time we called that young man's name tonight, the junior.
Yeah, Marine City's doing the right thing, getting some backups in the game, getting some opportunity to play.
And, up big on the scoreboard. We're under 6 minutes to go in this ball game, and yes, we are getting the 2s in for Marine City, but the experience, the St. Clair defense isn't going to stop fighting. It's a rivalry game. There's still a lot of pride on the line, so it's great experience for these underclassmen to get tough game experience in rivalry as well.
Absolutely. I mean, any kind of experience matters when high school football.
As the give to the right side to number 23, Ben Wright, the senior, getting a little bit of action. He's going to pick up a yard or two before he's brought down. That'll bring up a 3rd down and a long 4 situation for the Mariners.
I can't get over the turnout here, man. With the weather the way it was, I mean, you look around, everybody's the stands were packed, and then you got everybody standing along the fence. Reminds me, like you said, some of those big battles back in the MAC Red days when we were playing around there, and it's a very, very just a wonderful atmosphere out here.
Absolutely, and a shout out to all of those St. Clair fans battling this game right now. They have their team down 35-3 in a rivalry game.
Haven't left.
That St. Clair sideline still completely filled out as number 42, Darius Watson, on the carry. He's going to be swallowed up in the backfield, bringing up a 4th down. But again, the scoreboard's lopsided. It's been raining, but the student section's still over there. The cheerleaders are still getting down. The marching band for St. Clair is still in attendance. That's a lot of pride, because we've been to games where we've been in situations like this where you see the opposing sideline start to empty out like that.
Yeah, I mean, nobody thought this was going to happen this way. This game was going to unfold this way. Two undefeated teams, 2 rivals. But like you said, just great fan appreciation. Nobody's left. Everyone's staying there watching the game to the end of it.
While we've got this opportunity, we do want to take it to send a shout out and a big thank you to the Marine City Mariners, their athletic department, and all of their event staff here at East China Stadium. Everybody in the press box been great to us, making room for us. They welcomed us with open arms. So just shout out to the entire Marine City football community. We've enjoyed ourselves up here, and we look forward to coming back, covering some more Marine City football, and especially in the playoffs, as we expect Marine City to make a deep push.
Absolutely. Like you said, I mean, you hit it on the nose. Everyone's been fantastic up here. Just been a great time, man.
3 minutes and 26 seconds left. Marine City with a 4th down. So St. Clair trying to get this ball back. They'll get some opportunity for their underclassmen to get some carries as well.
It's the big Bob up there on the camera as well, huh? Fighting
yeah.
that weather.
Hey, shout out to our production crew. Bobby Mack doing up there.
Weather in the storm.
Weather in the storm. He's got himself a little hut up there.
I got to see it. I haven't got to see it. I want to go up there and see what he's working with.
You'll have to make your way up there. I probably wouldn't take too much of a detailed look at the inside because he is up there by himself, and you never know what kind of entertainment he might have going on up there as well.
I know what you mean about that. I mean, I think you think he's stinky, then maybe that's the case. But you never know about him. I'll tell you what, he had a heck of a hat on. I like that Callaway hat.
Oh, you would like that. You would like his golf repertoire.
Looks good.
That's,
Heck of a beard going.
You should have seen him in the rain suit last week. It's quite impressive. You'd love to see it. 3 minutes and 21 seconds to go here in this ball game.
I didn't know where you were going with that other one, man. I wanted to jump in, Mac. I didn't know what to say.
We're just going to get back to the ball game.
Good idea.
Before we start talking about candy corn and Halloween and all the other goofy stuff that gets talked about on area broadcasts in this area.
Yeah, I mean, we're just going to see these teams kind of, run the ball, run the clock out, call it a game. You never know. I mean, they might see each other again in the playoffs, right?
Ruba carries the ball, so Ruba still in the game. The senior showing a lot of fight and battle. He plunges ahead for that 3-yard carry, setting up a 2nd and 7 situation. Now, under 3 minutes to go in this ball game, but St. Clair's got the ball on the Marine City 34-yard line. Undoubtedly, they're going to try and put more points up in this rivalry game. Gleason under center, I formation. Ball set on the right side of the hash. Give to Ruba, off tackle to the left side. Ruba continues to fight forward down to the 30. And that'll bring up a third down situation. Brendan Ruba, and again, you know, you see the physical nature of Ruba just putting his head down and just getting it in, fighting his way for as many yards as possible.
Yeah, he's a good hard runner, good running back. You know, hasn't had the opportunity to really shine too much in this game. Give all the credit to that, to Marine City, the coaching staff, defensive staff. They've done a great job. They've had their players in the right positions at all times. I think, like you mentioned, I think there was one blown coverage, and that was it, really. So it's been a great game, and, you know, it's been great.
Yeah, absolutely. Very impressed by what we've seen out of Marine City. Obviously, not the showing that St. Clair wanted to put on, but we've seen them a couple of times already this year, and I promise you that St. Clair is impressive. Toss to Ruba on the left side. He's going to find the edge around the corner down to the 20. Finally pushed out of bounds at 15, and it looked like he had an opportunity to go before he was finally pushed out of bounds at the 15-yard line.
Yeah, St. Clair's going to try to put another one in the end zone here. I don't blame him. I mean, you want to get some momentum going into next week.
Want to take this opportunity to thank all of our listeners as well, and make sure you tune in to our Twitter and Facebook accounts, as we will let you know where we will be at for our Week 8 Game of the Week, bringing you this live audio broadcast here on MACOMBPreps.com. I formation, fullback motions to the left side, give to Ruba up the middle, down to the 10-yard line, fights his way down to the 8, where he's finally tripped up.
And remind them again, Mac, you said you can see parts of this broadcast broken up on the YouTube channel.
Well, we will have this game in its entirety on our YouTube channel, as well as our scoring highlights chopped up and put out on our social media feeds. Give to Ruba up the middle. This time he's going to be stacked up at the line of scrimmage by that Mariner defensive line. That'll bring up a third down and short situation for St. Clair.
This is just as big for the Marine City defense players that are in there now to get a stop as it is for St. Clair to score.
Absolutely. A lot of pride on the line for both sides of the ball, no matter what the scoreboard is. Again, this is a rivalry game. You know, this is bragging rights. I'm sure Marine City's going to let this team know about it for the next year. Under a minute to go in this ball game. Gleason under center, drops back to pass, looking to the right side. Off to Ruba in the corner, fights his way down to the corner. And he's going to be called just short of the touchdown. Check that. That was number 32. Check that. Number 22. My eyes playing tricks on me. Duncan Gillis on the reception in the flat, brought down at the half-yard line. We'll call it the 1-yard line. So with 33 seconds to go in this ball game, St. Clair with an opportunity to put some points on the board. Clock beginning to run. Gleason under center, I formation, tight end to the right. Give to Ruba up the middle. Stacked up. He's going to bounce it out to the left. He's got the corner. Touchdown, Ruba. And that young man will feel good about that one. So with 19 seconds to go, St. Clair gets their first touchdown of the game. 35-9 the score now, as Ruba bounces that play out to the left. And again, we finally had an opportunity to see that speed on display that Ruba has, and he had the corner and he took it.
Yeah, I mean, that's good. Fortunate for him. He's ran hard all game. He hasn't had an opportunity to really break anything, so I'm glad to see him get in the end zone. And even the play before that with Gleason, he was able to drop back, set his feet, and threw a good ball. And it just didn't have that many opportunities to do that this game with the pressure Marine City was bringing at him.
Krushke in for the extra point. The kick is up, straight down the middle, and it is good. So that brings us to a 35-10 ball game here with 19 seconds to go at East China Stadium. Marine City in control of this one. Obviously, 19 seconds to go as this one wraps up.
You see an onside kick here, Mac, or just a basic kickoff?
You got to, right? I mean, it's an opportunity for practice.
Yeah.
That onside kick, you don't get very many opportunities to execute it. It's definitely an opportunity to do so now. I mean, you never know when you'll have to use it in the playoffs, in another regular season game. I mean, to me, this is just game experience. There's no quit. You go ahead and you try and get that ball back and throw a couple deep again.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. I mean, I can see both points of view, but they did just go and try to score on offense, so you would assume they'd line up for an onside kick here.
As Marine City takes the field, they do prepare themselves with the hands team for an onside
The band's
kick.
getting into it here. You see that,
Absolutely.
Mac?
Impressed by the Marine City band. Now, Ken, I gotta let everybody know, I'm a sucker for the marching bands. I was in the marching band. I was in Central Michigan's marching band. I absolutely love football, but that is why we at MACOMB Preps are always focused on spotlighting that marching band as well. And Marine City, they've got a great one.
I did not know you were in the band, man. That's awesome. What'd you play?
I played the baritone.
Okay.
Pooch kick by Krushke.
Baritone
That one's going to be
bear.
fair
Oh,
catch,
look at the
fumble, and St. Clair looks
St.
like
Clair
they
got
hopped on that around the 30-yard line. We will wait for the official ruling, but the
St. Clair
sunshine
football.
kick by Krushke, highly affected. So a game opportunity to practice the sunshine kick, the pooch kick. That ball kicked straight up in the air to the hash, beautifully executed by Krushke. I mean, as a coach, when you tell somebody to put the ball in the air and give it the old sunshine kick, executed perfectly, down to the numbers, 30-yard line. It forced a player to go back and create an over-the-shoulder catch, fair catch. He dropped it, and St. Clair takes over now with 18 seconds to go on Marine City's 29-yard line. So St. Clair's going to have an opportunity to make this one not as bad on the
Got
scoreboard.
the backup quarterback in now. I think number 18.
That is number 18 checking into
Never
the
mind,
game.
4 maybe. There's mass substitutions pretty much for the St. Clair side.
That is number 4, Luke Ellis, the sophomore, getting into the game for St. Clair. He'll be in a shotgun formation. Tight end to the left side. Give to 16. That is Denny Salagin.
And that should do it, Mac. That should be the last play of the game here.
And he will be tackled around the 24-yard line, and indeed that is going to do it. As the countdown is on, Marine City heads to the 50-yard line. They will party as the Marine City Mariners beat their crosstown rivals in a battle for the bell here at East China Stadium. Final score, Marine City 35 to St. Clair Saints 10, as the marching band fires up the Marine City fight song.
No, what's the baritone that you play? What am I
Bass
listening
trumpet.
to?
Bass
okay.
trumpet.
So can I hear that right now?
No, you can't. I don't own one. I haven't played in years. But as you know, I am musically inclined. So maybe one day over a beer, I'll bust it out for you and play the old Central fight song for you. Because hail to the Chippewas.
I would
Why we
love
got
to
the
see
opportunity, huh?
Absolutely, man. What a great game, man. Thanks for having me. This was fantastic.
Absolutely.
Look forward to being with you every week if we can.
Oh, you are part of the crew, my man. We appreciate you having out. Oh, yeah, we're in it to win it at this point. Mac Preps will be on location again next week for Week 8 Game of the Week. Again, stay tuned to all of our social media platforms. We will let you know where we are headed ahead of time. And again, as we continue to grow, we appreciate and thank all of our listeners. One last shout out to the Marine City Athletic staff and the event, the complex and the event staff for hosting us today. We look forward to being back and covering some playoff football here at Marine City. But that wraps up our coverage. We'll have full game highlights on our social media accounts and the game in its entirety on our YouTube page as well. So that's going to wrap it up for the MACOMB Preps crew. I'm Jerry Mack alongside Kent Fiat. That's going to be it on our Game 7 Game of the Week. Marine City 35, the St. Clair Saints 10.